really jacked up name.
Welcome to Draft Utopia. Chris Ransom and William Yanish here. Today we'll talk about the East-West Shrine Bowl. We'll watch some practices. We're going to preview the conference title games, and that'll pretty much be it for today. But on that note, I'm going to pop in the film, and let's get the graphics up. I can't believe I forgot to set up the graphics when doing this show last night. I don't know. Is it this one?
You're all right, man. We still love you, Chris.
And edit theme. Edit theme. Let's go news. Let's make the primary color green. And yeah. And then captions. There. So there's the captions. There's all that other stuff. And yep. Let's put it on screen share, and then we'll watch some tape.
I love watching tape.
Yeah, so you got here's the library of all the tape we can watch from yesterday's practices. They're like we'll start with the tight end, since I know that's your favorite position, and then I'm gonna zoom in on this, and all right. I think is it full screen? Yeah. Okay. And I've got tape for hockey as well. Like, since I write at Draft Prospect Hockey, I've got tape for all the players in the NHL draft, and it's more detailed than the NFL draft tape. So if you ever wanted to watch hockey tape, we can do that as well.
Nice.
But here's the Oklahoma tight end. He runs a route, catches it. And here's the LSU tight end, Zach Bauer. So they're basically is that the Mississippi State tight end, or is it the Wisconsin tight end? I think that's Mississippi State. Here's the Wisconsin tight end. But basically, that's the drill. They're all... Wow, so they just auto-played all those at once. Okay.
Okay.
I wasn't expecting that, but I don't have a problem with it either. Here we've got the tight ends versus the linebackers. Practice drill here. And there's clips and stuff on X. And there you can see number 8. I think that's the Mississippi State tight end going up against the defensive linebacker, actually. Here's Zach Bauer. I think he's the standout of this group. He knocks that safety down. And remember, a tight end factory. They had Mason Taylor last year. Zach Bauer.
Yep.
I'd say Bauer's the standout of this group, but it's very early. Who's that guy at 25? I think that's either I think that was the Oklahoma tight end. No, this is the Oklahoma tight end. Oklahoma tight end with some nice plays here. I like the variety on the route tree of the Oklahoma tight end.
Yeah. That's one thing, they are very sparsely used in college.
Jaron Kanak, that's his name, Kanak.
Okay.
Jaron Kanak and Bauer, I would say, are the two winners of this West tight end group so far. That doesn't mean nobody else can emerge, but I haven't been as impressed with the Mississippi State tight end or the Wisconsin tight end. I think Bauer and Kanak are by far and away the two best tight ends.
I saw that Mississippi State guy, and he wasn't moving very quick. He didn't have much, what do you want to call it, short area burst for a tight end. So...
Oh, so they're doing running backs and tight ends. So that's why some of these names aren't familiar.
State guy, and he wasn't moving very quick. He didn't have much. Wow, there's a delay. What do you want to call it? Short area. Hold on. For a tight end. So.
Are you here, Joey? Is that you?
No, that was probably me. I turned Draft Utopia on Facebook so I could see this on my computer.
So the because this drill features running backs and tight ends. You want me to pause it because I'm sort of lost here.
Yeah,
I'm gonna just take a second to see what the running backs are for the West team.
There's
Just
a Penn
read through the
State
list
tight end.
here. This is a running back and tight end drill, William. Sorry about the confusion. So CJ Donaldson, Ohio State. I think I saw Donaldson. He wasn't that great. Roman Hemby, Indiana. He was on Maryland last year. Damon Claiborne, Wake Forest. Damon Claiborne, Wake Forest. Dean Connors, Houston. So pretty good running back group, actually. We might actually go back and rewind and watch some of the running back drills just because I'm kind of lost. I don't like being lost. So
yeah, that's never a good thing, man. And yeah,
yeah, it
these
says
guys are
running backs and it says running backs and tight ends. That's why. So for
gotcha.
anyone wondering, and it never hurts to rewatch film for anyone at home who's like, oh, you guys don't know what. Well, we know what we're doing. We have a grasp on what we like with the tight ends from this group. It's the running
Very
backs we don't
much.
really have the grasp on, and it
Yeah.
never hurts to double check the tape if we're not certain on something. So the running backs, we've got C.J. Donaldson, Ohio State. We've got Roman Hemby, Indiana. Damon Claiborne, Wake Forest, and we got the Houston running back. So those are the running backs, and that's a pretty good running back group, I think.
I
Because a
just
lot
saw a
of these
dude
guys
get
weren't
knocked
the
on
guys
his
we
ass.
talked about. Yeah, I agree. Bauer and the Oklahoma tight end are my two favorites. We talked about that already. Kanak and Bauer are my two favorites among this West team tight end group.
There's Florida running back. What we got now?
Yeah, I think this is
definitely
the
tight end.
Wisconsin tight end, and then they're going to go to the running backs. Knowing, 41, that looks like the Wisconsin tight end, and then
he pushed him off just enough to catch the ball, man.
Yep.
That's a pretty slick move.
I think this is CJ Donaldson, the Ohio State running back, 22. Yeah, that's a running back. And that helmet, scarlet and gray, that looks like an Ohio State helmet. Good reps by Donaldson here. Is this Roman is that Hemby or is that I don't think that's Roman Hemby, Indiana. And I don't think it's Damon Claiborne, Wake Forest. That's got to be the Houston running back then.
That Penn State guy's sticking out, dude.
It's a Penn State guy?
Yeah. Well, he's got a white helmet and
white
blue
helmet could be,
jersey.
But I didn't see a Penn State running back on the actual roster. Who's 8? 8's not.
Was it a tight end or a running back? I think it was
I don't
tight
know.
end.
He's lining up like a tight end.
There's a delay from what I'm watching on my computer to this. So, yeah.
Okay, here we got Zach Bauer back in double coverage. Nice catch by Zach Bauer.
Definitely was, man.
Bauer's having a really good week. This looks like Damon Claiborne, the Wake Forest running back. He just gets popped on that play. Yeah, 25, black helmet. That's Damon Claiborne, Wake Forest. You want me to look up the QBs really quickly on the West team?
Yeah.
Let's look up the QBs. Because I know Cade Klubnik's on the East team. All right, so we have Haynes King, Georgia Tech. Joe Fagano, Connecticut. Fagano is 12. Mark Gronkowski's 11. Haynes King is 12. And Miller Moss is 14. So Miller Moss, 14 is the one who made a lot of the good throws in the drills we've seen so far.
Yeah, for sure.
That's
and
12. That's Connecticut quarterback. Nice screen pass there.
Being that what do you call it, USC. Miller Moss has to have something there.
He beat Nussmeier head to head
in
his first start with LSU. Both quarterbacks' first starts, actually. So this is the Connecticut quarterback. He's made some nice throws. Like, I know Connecticut's got a few draftable prospects. Their wide receiver, Skylar Bell, I have a 3rd-round grade on him. we'll see him later in this video. And here's CJ Donaldson here. And Donaldson can't get separation from the linebacker in coverage. Damn, how many videos?
This stuff is going to be interesting. I'm sitting here looking at the rosters. Which one is this? Oh, the West roster.
Yep. Because they've got
Haynes
running backs
King
and tight ends going up against linebackers and safeties.
Mark, my lips are sticking together. Mark,
is that Joey?
Gronowski.
Joey's here. Perfect.
Cool.
Turn it on Joey's camera. We are watching film,
Haynes
Joey.
King, man.
We are watching film. I got access to the Shrine Bowl film, so we are watching plays from yesterday's Shrine Bowl practice, virtual film. So that's what we're doing, Joey.
What are you doing,
I see it.
Nice catch. That's
anything good, man?
That's Kulak, I think, the Oklahoma tight end. Good separation on that catch. Joey, if you want to narrate or break anything down, feel free to interject at any time.
When it comes to tight ends in something like this, what we really need to look at are the routes and separation through the routes. We'll see the athleticism as the week goes on, but in these particular drills, how much separation can they get in the routes and can they complete the catch?
Well, yeah, that's definitely one thing. But between the different types of tight ends, between flex, true wise, and my blockers, I mean, of course, this is all about running routes. This is all about being a flex receiver, true wide, and these guys definitely, their body control is one thing that I
this
completely
is a
watch.
running back tight end drill, just for clarity purposes. That number 22, that's a running back. That's CJ Donaldson of Ohio State who made that catch. I know Roman Hemby's on one of these teams. I just don't know which team he's on. That could be the Houston running back. William thinks it looks like a Penn State player, but I just checked the West team. There's no Penn State players on the West team.
Well, I'm sitting here watching it right here, and there's that player that was wearing the white helmet and blue jersey. He was just on like a second ago.
The blue jerseys, I think, are the home jerseys for the West team.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And
who is that guy, though?
Zach Bauer, the LSU tight end. He replaced Mason.
Number 8?
Number 80 for LSU. That's Zach Bauer. He replaced Mason.
Who's the number 8 guy with the blue jersey?
I guess I could look that up since I've got that information on me. Sadao Traore, Mississippi State tight end.
Oh, that is? Okay. I got you. Cool. He wasn't moving very well in the drills, but
we've seen Miller Moss. So that's it for the tight end drills. That's the final.
I like how those guys ran those deep routes. Those were pretty nice. I know they weren't crisp deep routes, but they weren't designed to be. It was up and then just angle yourself over. And they did a very nice job in that of getting separation on a straight run and then just keeping the angle correct. So they did a really nice job on that.
Yeah, we watched the tight ends and we watched the running backs, tight ends versus linebackers, safeties. The next two, we can either skip the punt team or we can go straight to team offense. Punt team, I know you're a special teams guy, so we will watch the punt team. We'll try to watch it. But yeah, I know Joey's a big special teams guy. So
some of these tight ends, I'm going to get back into that. That is one reason that Colston Loveland was just unbelievable, was watching how tight his movements were on his body, like opposed to watching a tight end like Tucker Kraft. Tucker Kraft has more of a loose, kind of wobbly, one of those. They almost look clumsy at times on film, but that's one thing about Colston Loveland is every move was absolutely crisp and deliberate and deliberate,
You see
and
this, William? Zach Bauer, LSU tight ends on special teams here.
mm,
So he's on the punt return team. So that's interesting.
he's a player then. He wants to get in there and do whatever he can to
Yeah.
lead his team. It's like one thing I heard a long time ago is if you ever want your kid to be a football player, teach him the long snap.
And it's harder to
You know.
pinpoint what players are special teams aces in the draft process because there's not a lot of film on that. Like if you're a first team college player, you're probably not doing a lot of special teams reps.
It's not really as difficult as somebody would think. It's a lot of times if a lot of these special teams guys have the same skills as a nickel corner. You have to be able to tackle. You have to be able to get downfield. You have to have athleticism. And if for some reason the ball comes loose, you got to be able to get the ball. And it's basically a lot of the same skills as a nickel corner. It's like on punt returns or kick returns. For the kickoff team, who is in a lot of ways the most important people on the kickoff team? The gunners. Okay.
And that was one thing when I was just reading my first Tanner Kozoil evaluation. I would mentioned Steve Tasker in there, and what he did on special teams.
Interesting.
And yeah. And
interesting. Sorry, I wasn't trying
What
to
you
talk
got,
over.
man?
I've been going through the roster names for some of the teams. On that last play, number 33, that was Oklahoma edge rusher Robert Spears Jennings. So he was the left tackle on the punt return. Very interesting. That's a little bit surprising to me, but I don't think that's very surprising to someone who's been in the industry coaching as long as Joey. But I guess that could help him in a sense because he could be used as an edge rusher as well as a left tackle on punt returns.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it comes to punts, it's especially when you're a left tackle, they are packed in there like sardines. Nobody's supposed to get through. So if you got the arm length and the footwork to maybe catch up if somebody does accidentally get through, you're going to be good at it as long as you can stay low. Because if you get hit in the back of the head with the football on the punter, you're probably not doing your job pretty well. So, you got to be able to stay low, arm length, and not get pushed back. And if you can do that, in theory, you can definitely be a left tackle on a punt return.
That's
now
Jennings 33 right there. Who's if you want other names, I can get those, but I'll let Joey keep breaking stuff down. Look up more names.
Yeah. Now on the inside, you don't want a lot of tall guys because if you got a lot of tall guys in there, once again, they can stand up a little straighter. They can get pushed back, and you don't want them getting pushed back into the punter because, once again, they're tall, they're big, easier to get hit with the ball, and that's what you don't want on a punt team. So, as long as you can stay low, have long enough arms, and you got fast enough feet to maybe catch up, you don't even really have to have the fast feet if the special teams are efficient. And a lot of that comes from the center punter snap. Okay, if they get it off quick and clean, then it's really about the agility. Can you get down the field? And in that, a defensive tackle, a defensive end, those guys can get down there because all you really need is about 2 seconds. And if they can get their hand on a defender, they're going to get those 2 seconds. If the punter and the snapper are on the same page. That's why you don't see a lot of, you see the punter and the snapper working on the sidelines all the time because they've got to be on the same page. That's what makes it work.
Jalen Husky, Maryland safety, George Gums Jr., Florida edge rusher. Those are some of the players I saw playing on special teams in this drill. Penn State's long snapper was obviously there. The returns, Malik Benson was the return specialist. The Oregon wide receiver, number 4, he was the return specialist on the punts. And Spears Jennings was the left tackle, as I mentioned. So a few details.
On my high school football team, man, our center was this Mexican kid. His name was Arturo Meza. And he just had so much of a mean streak. This kid was 161 pounds and playing center on varsity. But, I mean, it was absolutely unbelievable. I mean, just he used the correct form, used the correct mechanics, and he just had that fuck you attitude, that he was going to win every time, and that was a football player, man. Like I said, his name was Arturo Meza. But yeah, I played with him from the time we played Pee Wee football, when he first, what was that, 5th grade, I was 10 years old.
Here we got the offensive drills. And
Nice.
is that an interception QB just threw?
Ooh.
Yeah, that's going back. Who was the QB on that one?
Haynes King, Georgia Tech QB.
Yeah, that was not a great
Haynes
throw.
King is like a poor man's Drew Aller.
Yep.
He's
What?
the same type of quarterback. His legs work, but he's off.
Then he
also
threw another pick.
in that category
Or is this the same
is
play they just showed. Is that the same play they just showed, or is that a different pick that he threw?
I think that's the same play. And Drew Aller is like, kid's got all the skill in the world, and I think a lot of that's his coaching. Because if you're poorly coached as a quarterback, you're going to get into poor habits, and guess what's going to happen after that?
yeah.
They're going to get
Also in that
interceptions
category
in Senior Bowl.
is Riley Leonard. Another quarterback whose legs work absolutely wonderful, but arm, not so much. The reason
Yeah.
that Drew Aller is above both those other guys is because of his football IQ, because of just everything he can play at any position. I mean, Drew Aller is a tough football player, man.
Yeah, and there's
Yeah,
Zach
and
Bauer.
William, I love how you describe that. How his legs work? It's like he can walk, and these other guys struggle to walk, and they can't throw either. So
Yeah.
they've got problems.
Yeah, just toss him right out the window, man. I mean, it's like, yeah, I don't know. That's probably the order too, is Aller, and then Haynes King, and then Riley Leonard. So
Yeah, so 75 is the Maryland left tackle.
Yeah.
75 is James Neal III, Iowa State left tackle, actually. And Falili Famamo, the Wake Forest right tackle, is actually playing right tackle as the bookend to Haynes King in this drill here. Is that 9? 9 who caught it? Let's look at number 9, I think, caught it. That is Jeff Caldwell, who caught the pass from Haynes King, Cincinnati receiver. And here we get number 11, the Iowa quarterback. Hold on. Iowa quarterback's Mark Gronkowski, former South Dakota State quarterback who transferred to Iowa this season. Gronkowski doesn't like his progressions, takes off and run. He was taught to do that at Iowa. He was taught to do that at South Dakota State. And he gains a few yards. Nice play. Nothing out of the ordinary. Nothing spectacular. Notice there's a change in left tackle. That's Riley Malman, the Wisconsin right tackle, playing the blind side on this play. I thought he was a pure right tackle only. The fact that he's getting some left tackle looks is good.
Yeah, and this is incredibly important, especially this year, because I've been watching a lot of tape of these wide receivers, and this is one of the most highly hyped and most disappointing groups I have seen in a long time to come in with this much hype and underperform this much. I mean, they can do a lot of in routes. I mean, they are good at in routes, curl routes, and such, but a lot of them that were highly rated are not good. Okay, they are
Eric Rivers
number
was
3
wide open.
receivers at best. So
Okay.
these guys in these games right now, they've got a huge opportunity because there are a lot of guys that are either too slow, don't know the route tree, and they're big, they've been hyped up, but they're not doing what they need to do. So guys like the Alabama receiver, guys here, all these guys that aren't being hyped, well, guess what? Here's your opportunity.
Yeah,
Make good.
nice block by number 13. And Eric Rivers, Georgia Tech receiver, that's a player I had a preseason first-round grade on, but then he kind of soured as the season progressed. Very underperformed very much this season, but he's gotten open on a few plays, and Gronkowski just hasn't gotten him the ball. I've noticed he's ran a few deep routes where he's gotten open, but Gronkowski just doesn't get him the ball.
Yeah. Well,
And he's had some good run blocks.
Ranowski is not known for having arm strength, so
Yeah.
that's
What do we got
the
next
reason that
here?
he's coming out of wherever, South Dakota State or whatever it is.
So we got wide receivers. Yes, so we got wide receivers. That's next.
And he's more of a gamer. Practice is a strong point with
So
him.
basic wide receiver drills. 13 Rivers is the guy I'm watching. 4, I'll look up. 4 is the Oregon receiver I told you about earlier. 21. Is there any numbers you want me to look up while we I know 13 is Eric Rivers and 4 is the Oregon return specialist. Oh, 1 is Skylar Bell, the Connecticut receiver in my top 100. I think I have
Who
him
was
in the
number
late
8 again?
round.
Number 8.
Who?
Oh, back on the tight end since you're looking at
Traore
that.
is number 8, yes.
Okay.
This is wide receiver drills, though. But yes, Skylar Bell is 1, and 13 is Eric Rivers. Those are the 2 I'm watching. Oh, that's a bad drop by Skylar Bell. I mean, I think I have a late second on Bell.
No, sounds like another
Very
Bell.
bad drop by Bell. I don't think that was Bell. That was someone else. Who's this? 88. That looks like a Duke. 88. Let's look up 88. That was a good catch by 88. Let's look up. 88 is Chase Roberts, the BYU receiver that I was high on heading into the preseason. And Skylar Bell rebounds there. And Chase Roberts with another good catch. That is a 21. I think that's an Iowa or a Michigan receiver. I'm not exactly sure. I'm hoping they go to a more advanced drill than this.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I don't enjoy watching it. I just like to get a better feel for
Yeah.
All
For the
right.
underwear
Eric
Olympics.
Rivers.
Also, guys, you have to remember, because I want to throw this out here, because this is something we were talking about at work, was if the college has them listed at, say, 6'1", they're probably closer to 5'11".
Yep.
Exactly.
Just remember that.
No, they had Bryce Young at 6'1", and it's like, dude, he
And
literally
he was
what,
actually
5'10" with his
5'6".
hair. Yeah, he's got the body of a 15-year-old boy. It's like, dude,
Yeah.
you know, and what the school website says, I was talking to Chris about this morning, it's always wrong.
Yeah.
When, and when they go to the combine, whatever they have on ESPN is in inches has to come off that.
Yeah.
It's a really good rule of thumb. Man. What
I agree.
ESPN says until they get to the combine or whatever
Full
weigh in,
charging.
because that's going to be a lot more accurate. So
Yeah, it's like we were talking about the Alabama receiver. What's his name, Junior?
yeah,
Where Alabama
High on him is
Bernard. Yeah, because I really like him, but the Alabama website I think has him listed at 6'1", and I'm like, no, he's closer to 5'11".
oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
so it's like just take that as a grain of salt. You know?
I talk about this all the time. So yeah,
Yeah.
Come on, man. Talk about little man syndrome. That's Diego Pave.
Well, that definitely goes around college football. I'll give it that. What are you compensating for?
Steve Smith had little man syndrome, and man, he used it well. Especially the time he broke his teammate's freaking orbital bone. He punched him twice. That was interesting. But Steve Smith, I would watch that guy drag defenders when they needed a first down. Like 3 of them, 4 of the first down. It's like, dude, that guy.
21-9. 29 is
Unbelievable.
Caden Wetjen from Iowa, and number 9 is Jeff Caldwell from Cincinnati. We mentioned him earlier. Caldwell, we've mentioned him a few times. Here's Eric Rivers again. Nice job. Square out. So basically the receivers, they got to run a square and then they catch the ball. Skylar Bell. Both caught everything.
The underwear.
Wear out.
Yep. The underwear Olympics.
No, this is the underwear Olympics qualifier, William, because some of these Shrine Bowl guys don't even get combine invites. This is the underwear Olympics qualifier round.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, we were talking about those guys. It's like they just need jabbed every now and then. So
yeah. Really, that's all we get for receivers. Okay. All right. So I hope we get an East practice soon. I hope we get some East practices soon because I know Klubnik's on the East team. I know Indiana center Pat Coonan's on the West team. So this is the West team and the running backs. And there's so the running backs, these are basically running plays.
On Facebook one time, man, this guy he was talking all this kind of shit. He like lit off on me, and I called him out. I was like, dude, yeah, you sound just like one of those little guys. He was like, I'm the average size of a UFC fighter. I was like, oh my God. Yep. Got him.
Interesting. 53 is Brian Parker II. I do have him in my first round. He's a Duke right tackle, but his weigh-in came in yesterday. Some are thinking he's going to end up converting to center or guard in the NFL. I'm going to pull up his weigh-in right now. I'm going to pull up his weigh-in from yesterday right now because he's done a good job at center in this Shrine Bowl. So the official weigh-in for Brian Parker, 6'4" and 5/8, 306 pounds, 9 3/4 hand size, arm length 32 1/4. So there are some people wondering if Brian Parker II, because I have him listed as a right tackle in the Senior Bowl, but some project him as a guard or even a center at the NFL level. That's what happened with Graham Barton a few years ago at Duke, if you remember.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and you really had to pay attention to the weight when it comes to offensive tackles because, if you're not a certain weight, how are you going to hold up to the pass rushers? Just sheer mass. I mean, some of these pass rushers are really strong guys. You've got to have the low base, and you got to have the weight to hold that low base. So, but at the same time, when you're a guard, you have to be even heavier because defensive tackles can get up to 360, 370 pounds.
Yep. And the
So
reason I paused this is because number 2 on the white team is Dante Corleone, one of your favorites. 2 on the
Nice.
white team, and the center is Brian Parker. Let's see what
Yeah.
happens here. And Corleone, he gets double teamed on this play, and then he ends up tripping. I think it's the same play that he showed earlier.
Yeah, I got him last year in our mock
Yeah.
draft group in like 3rd round or something. But
Yeah.
I love Corleone, man.
Yeah, the big problem with Corleone is that he isn't much of a pass rusher. I mean, he can get to the quarterback, but he's not much of a pass rusher, and that's going to knock down his draft stock to the 2nd or 3rd round. But at the same time, he has potential to be one of the best run stuffers in the NFL. He is that good.
Yeah, well, I mean, what he needs to do is have the team, whoever drafts him, or just do it on his own. Go out and find a coach like John Randall. Somebody who was who was a pass rush guy, and learn some moves and get some IQ. I mean, trip your IQ and
Well, one of the
see
things
what happens, man.
I know what a lot of these guys do in the NFL.
Because he has a
They will
potential.
go take ballet classes, and then they won't have to learn the pass rush moves because they will learn the agility, they'll learn the footwork, and they'll push forward on that. So maybe it's just
For
something
any
as
football
simple.
player, man. For any football player, go
Absolutely.
to ballet to get those mechanics down, the footwork, everything else. That's what I preach. So much.
Yeah. When I played, I was a tap dancer.
Yeah.
And I was a left tackle. It helped me immensely, especially after the second time I blew my knee out and I couldn't get the push. What was the one thing I could fall back on, which it actually extended my career an extra year and a half, was I was able to position myself to get the same results that I couldn't get through brute strength anymore. And that footwork is invaluable. I mean, some of the greatest players in NFL history have just gone to ballet classes or some type of dance classes. Warren Sapp did it. Herschel Walker was probably one of the most famous to do it. A lot of those guys, because not everybody's going to have the natural athletic ability of a John Randall or a Myles Garrett. I mean, some of them have to. Not everybody's going to be Reggie White. They're going to have to, do different things. And dancing is probably one of the best ways to go about it. Chris, we know you love this talk about dancing and ballrooms and ballet. I mean, this is right up your alley.
It's more entertaining than the fumbles I'm seeing. I'll give you that. It's more entertaining than the fumbles I'm seeing. I'm seeing fumbles by the running back. I'm seeing fumbles by Haynes King. It's just brutal to watch. So
you're watching Josh Allen last week?
That was brutal to watch too. Drake May was also brutal to watch at times, even though my Patriots won. And another a drop pick there by the defense. Haynes King threw it into coverage. I was right there for the defense to take. Is Corleone's back out there, but Brian Parker isn't. Let's see how Corleone does against second team defense. Second team offensive line, not second team defense. Second team offensive line. Yeah. Yeah, I'm hoping we get some East team reps soon. Not that I don't enjoy watching the West team offense and defense, but I'm hoping after this video we get some East team reps.
Yeah, it's looking to me like they keep angling Corleone to the left, no matter what the play calls for.
Yeah.
And that's puzzling to me because that basically, if they call the right play, is going to take him out of the play no matter what.
Yeah.
So that's a puzzling call by the coaches. I'm not quite sure about.
I mean, look at the East-West Shrine.
Hey, look at that. There's another fumble. And he picked it up and he handed it off.
All right, so I'm looking at the West coaches here. East and West coaching staff. Wait, we had the actual. So this. Okay, so the West coaches, who's coaching the defensive line? Matt Rach is coaching the defensive line for the West team.
They are not having Corleone go. That time they had him going to the right. But they are not having him go straight forward at all. They are not
the
using
Colts
him.
defensive line coach is coaching the West team
And
defensive line.
I don't really understand what they're doing with their defensive line right here. It's like what they see and what they can do.
Shane Taub is coaching the Commanders' offensive line coach. Shane Taub's coaching the offensive line. Lunda Wells is the head coach. Former Oregon State quarterback Sean Mannion is the offensive coordinator for the West team. So Mannion is the one calling the plays for this offense.
And he looks like he knows exactly what the defense is doing.
Yeah. Terry Joseph's going to be the defensive coordinator on game day. Blaine Stewart, quarterbacks coach of the Buccaneers, is calling the quarterbacks in this game, coaching them. Josh Hill's coaching this tight end. Saints. I'm just looking at the coaching. Kevin Wilkins, defensive backs for the Jaguars. Jesse Madden's coaching the running backs, Commanders running backs coach. And then for the East team, we've got Jeff Anderson from the Browns coaching the defensive backs. Also, Mike Bearden coaching the tight ends. He's on the Browns as well. Maybe he's an assistant. Maybe I don't have the exact terminology in front of me. But yeah, that's for the East.
Yeah, I think they're going off the coaching stats from last year because the Browns coaching staff is still in flux. They just lost Tommy Reese to the Atlanta Falcons, and the Jags, they do seem stable right now on the defensive side. So that will be good for them to get a little bit of a view there. Same thing with Tampa Bay on the defensive side, even though the offensive side's a little wacky with what they're doing there. So it's an interesting coaching staff because they must be going off last year.
Miller Moss might be the most impressive QB from this West group. But yeah, Zach Bauer really impressed me earlier today. I like what I saw from Brian Parker in limited reps.
Now, we know they took guys from the Browns coaching staff last year. Did they take anything from the other 8 teams that have changed their coaching staff this year? Do you know?
They took Marquise Williams. He's the head coach of the East team. He was on the Falcons last year.
Okay.
And Kenneth J. Black is coaching the quarterbacks. He's in this game as well.
You can have Mannion too.
Connor Sengers, the offensive coordinator. He was on the Cardinals. Chris Cook, offensive line coach from the Cardinals. He's in this game.
Jeez.
Blaine Stewart, who got fired as the quarterbacks coach from Tampa, is the quarterbacks coach in this game.
Yeah, I'd fire him too.
I think he was one of the layoffs from Vance Joseph.
Yeah.
And Kevin Wilkins is the defensive backs coach. He was on the Jags, and Dre Thompson's Lions defensive backs coach, also coaching defensive backs in this game.
Okay. Overall, they're pretty good coaching staffs, especially defensively. Offensively, not quite as sure.
I like Mannion, but not as many standouts.
Yeah.
I like Sean Mannion as the offensive coordinator for the West team, but there's not as many standouts.
Mannion's done a nice job since his failed NFL career and, standout college days of really maturing into his role. So I can, I'm glad to see he's getting an opportunity.
Yep. So most of these are running plays, though. But yeah, most of these are running plays because this is run offense. So I've seen a few passing plays sprinkled into these. And I do like Eric Rivers as a blocker, Georgia Tech receiver. He's done a nice job throughout the day. What do we got here?
And with the NFL going back to more of a running offense on a lot of teams, a wide receiver that can block is an incredible asset. Now, you have to be able to run a route too, but
Yeah, he ran some routes where he was very wide open deep downfield, but the QB didn't get him the
yeah,
ball. He was a little bit open there, but there were other routes he ran when Gronkowski had the ball, number 11 on Iowa, and William basically summarized it best. Gronkowski can't throw it deep. Mark Gronkowski.
yeah, you need to be more Steve Smith and less Donovan Peoples-Jones, basically. You got to be able to do something along with the blocking, or else you're just a big tight end taking up space. And you'll probably get beat out by other tight ends at that point.
Yeah, that's what the 49ers, that guy hadn't caught a pass since 2021.
Yeah, you
and
see all the space.
all he did was go out there and get in the way. Like, dude.
Yeah, it's either, you can get people out of the way, but also make yourself available to catch the ball, or else you're just running downfield and getting in the way. Like you said, William.
Yeah. All right, so we got a Corleone rep here. Double teams. And yeah, this Connecticut quarterback is awful. I hope we get to some East team practices soon. I want to see what Cade Klubnik can do.
Yeah.
I also want to see what Pat Coogan can do. I think that is Pat Coogan, the Indiana center on this rep. Nice block by Coogan. This is
a good thing for the interior offensive linemen in this draft is that it looks like a lot of them can play both right and left guard and center, all three. So that will help them, especially with some of the guys in their bowl games, especially some of the guys that were in the playoffs underperforming, on the offensive line. That opens up that opens up an opportunity for these guys. So that versatility is going to come in really handy.
Okay, so we got punt. We got three punt return videos, and then special teams. If none of these are East videos, I'm going to skip them because it's like
just do like G. Bush did when he was watching the tape. Say he was so disgusted with it, he just bypassed everything else and sent back all the super chats and said thank you for showing up. Just do that. Okay, the tape was so bad, he literally just gave back the money that that people were sending him and just like, we're refunding all of it. Just do that. Just refund everything.
Okay, so this is the run defense. Maybe Corleone will do better in this drill. This is supposed to be the run defense drills. And I'll look for East practices, but mainly all the practices we got from yesterday are the West team, but I'll look for East after this. I don't know where to find them, but I'll look for them. I'll try to look for them All right, so Parker versus Corleone. That's my key matchup here. Center versus, and yeah, Parker is winning a lot of these reps versus Corleone.
And you'll notice that Parker isn't winning by strength because Corleone is pushing him back. Parker is winning by knowing his technique and putting his body between himself and the ball. And that is an incredible skill set to have because, especially against the run, you don't actually have to push the guy back. All you have to do is get your body in between theirs so that they can't make the tackle and have a strong enough base to where they're not going to push you back. If you do that, you'll be successful.
Parker, but I've got a first on Parker, but the question is where is he going to play? Because he was a 4-year right tackle at Duke. He's been playing center in the Shrine Bowl. Some teams are projecting him as a guard on either side. So I think he'll play one of 3 positions: right tackle, center, or right guard.
Yeah, and this all goes back to what William and myself were talking about. Corleone is winning those matchups physically, but he doesn't have the footwork to move after. And Parker is using that footwork, that technique to get between Corleone and the ball. And Corleone can't make a tackle if he can't get to the runner. So that is incredibly important. That goes right back to what William and myself were saying. Go to a dance instructor and say, I just got my rookie contract. I get $1 million a year. Here's $100,000. Teach me to dance. Make me a twinkle toes. Make me a dancing bear. And if those dancing bears, man, there's a reason they call them dancing bears, because they get you. They're going to bite you. They're going to wrestle you, and they're going to make you pay. So make me a dancing bear. And that's all Corleone has to do.
I like the effort Corleone showed on that play, but it wasn't enough to get to the quarterback. But I did like the effort he showed on that play. That was probably his best rep of the day so far.
Yeah, because it's not Corleone's effort. You notice there they chipped him because he did get leverage on that play. And his whole thing is technique. And
exactly.
He's like a freaking boulder going downhill. He gets going, he's going, and he ain't changing course. That's why he's got to work on his agility and he's got to work on his footwork, because he can push every offensive lineman in this draft all the way back into the end zone from the 50-yard line. But that's what he's going to do. He's going to push straight backward. I mean, he is all go straight forward. He's got to get agile.
We had a first on Deion Walker last year. He fell all the way to the Bills at the beginning of the 4th round, and he ended up doing just as good as we expected once he turned pro. But there were questions about his technique. There were questions about his size, his technique, how he translated at the next level. But those concerns were overblown.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That people were nitpicking too much. It's like, we do.
Because I saw Walker win pressures consistently in college. He just wasn't getting the sacks.
Yeah.
But he was winning pressures consistently, but people were nitpicking.
Yeah. And, now he's doing his thing, and he's just as good as we thought he'd be. But Corleone's just got to learn the footwork, because he doesn't change direction. He demolishes his person. If his person puts himself between the ball and Corleone, he's not getting the tackle. So all you have to do is do a little sidestep if you're the running back, and then just keep going on your merry way, because Corleone's not changing direction.
This edge rusher on Northwestern, that's Aiden Hubbard. That's 91. He's lining up against the left tackle, the edge rusher in that drill. And Hubbard did a good job getting the past the line.
That's the nice stuff right there. The ends, they cut off the running lane very well. I'm liking how outside defense is they are staying within their lanes and not allowing Right there, there's another one. They're just staying in their lanes, going upfield, and they're cutting off the running lanes.
The defensive tackles, 95 is David Gusta from Kentucky, and 96 is Tyler Onyedim from Texas A&M. Those are the two defensive tackles filling in for Corleone on that series. And that's so good reps by them. Oh, a lot of pressure by Aiden Hubbard. I know you're not allowed to hit the QB in practice, but if that was game day, Hubbard would have had a sack there. Because he won the rep. He was in striking range of the QB, but then he pulled back because it's practice. So great awareness. See, Hubbard. If that was a game, Hubbard would have had the sack there.
Yeah, and something that I've been thinking over a lot with all the coaching changes about my coaching time and how I would work with people disciplinary wise. For a lot of these teams, a lot of the reasons they changed coaches was because the teams were undisciplined. And I was thinking back on it, it's like one of the things I do, I start them off with running laps. But what I do, I wouldn't stop practice. I'd put in the backups and get the backups the reps because the backups are going to get better with every rep. So, and you saying that, hey, the backups went in on these reps, I'm like, that just brought me right back to start with laps, then go with burpees. And every time, don't stop practice, just put in the backups, let the backups get reps. I don't care if you're the quarterback. I don't care if you're the defensive tackles, whatever. Make sure those backups get those reps. And at the same token, you also have to work with team building. So after, what is it, a third time? What do? Collective push-ups. The entire team on that side of the ball does push-ups. Team building. All for one, one for all. And then you go in, and then the person who made the infraction still comes out for at least 2 plays, and those backups get the reps. Because that prepares both the starters and the backups while working on conditioning and working on discipline at the same time. So you're really catching a balance and getting everything together. And I think that is something that a lot of young coaches don't really understand. But right there, whether Corleone may not have done something that the coaches wanted him to do. So what do? You pull him, you get the backups, the reps, and now you're getting those backups premium reps that they need to get better.
Yep. 92 at the tackle there.
Yeah, I know. The coaching speak sometimes gets boring, but it's important. William, what do you think about that?
It is important. You're right. Because all these guys who come into these all-star games, all of them are going to get reps, regardless of where they're listed on game day. They're all going to get reps. That's the one thing I like about these all-star games, Joey.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter where you rank on the final depth chart. You're going to get reps. If you accept an invite, you're going to get reps.
Yeah.
And you got to make them count.
Yeah, because that's why, because you're always going to get reps, but you might not get as many depending on where you are and the coaches have you on the depth chart. So when things go sideways for one of the guys that got higher, you have to take advantage because you might get 5 reps. Now you got 6. Now you might get 7. You have to take advantage of the extra reps.
They're showing, I'm watching 30 for 30 on the TV. It's muted, but they're showing Bill versus Bill. It's a documentary about Bill Parcells and Bill Belichick, and they're showing the 94 AFC wildcard game where Parcells played Belichick. They're showing that on the TV while I'm also watching the Shrine Bowl reps.
I don't know, because Bill Parcells takes so much of his coaching philosophy from Belichick. And, I mean, Belichick was his mentor. Belichick was the one who
52 just intercepted Bledsoe. Is that Pepper Johnson, former linebackers coach that worked with Belichick in New England? Is that Pepper Johnson who intercepted Bledsoe in the 94 playoffs?
I know
Pepper Johnson.
Yeah, Pepper Johnson did play for Belichick. during that time. But he also played for Parcells at one point in time. So Pepper Johnson played, I think 94 might have been Belichick.
Yeah.
Who was Parcells and Belichick coaching for? I think Belichick was with the Browns.
And Parcells with the
Giants.
Patriots.
In
Parcells left
94?
the Giants to go to the Patriots.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So
Yeah,
94 was his last year with the Giants. I thought
Yeah.
90. Okay.
93 was his last year with the
Yeah.
Giants. He went to the Patriots in 94.
Yeah. And I know this because my mentor, that's where he came from. What the hell is that?
That's a good question.
Anyway, so yeah, no, my mentor, he's from that Belichick Parcells when they were with the Jets. So
Yep. Daniel Kelly, I think he was with the Jets in 98
Yep.
when the Jets made the AFC Championship
Yep.
and lost to the Broncos.
From 96 to 2000. He actually drove
Building maintenance
Bill Belichick's.
outside with William building.
You know,
maintenance was
Belichick
outside
ran
with
Parcells
a
out of New England.
industrial strength leaf blower that completely drowned out everything within a quarter-mile radius. So I'm sorry about that. I was as locked up can be, and it still came through.
Wow. All right.
Yeah,
Anyway.
Belichick, Parcells and Belichick got the Patriots to Super Bowl 31, and then I think it was the following year that Parcells left the Patriots to go to the Jets because there was like a feud between Kraft and Parcells, and Belichick wanted to be promoted to head coach, but Kraft didn't think he was ready yet, so they hired Pete Carroll for a few years, and then Belichick ended up replacing Carroll, and the rest is history.
That's a rather simplistic way to put it, considering all the drama that went on within a 4-day period. Him accepting the Jets offer, like having the press conference, and then being like, guys, you know what? I'm sorry. I did not mean what I said to all of you in the press and to the Jets owner and everybody else. I'm going to come over here and, take this. And then 2 days later, I'm going to have another press conference saying, I am the proud head coach of the Patriots. It's like, didn't you just say you were the proud head coach of the Jets? I mean, yeah, that was a very nice simplification, Chris. Like that was one of the most bizarre situations I've ever followed. And yes, I am old enough to remember it. It was just, man. It was bizarre.
Yeah, and Brewski had a pick against the Jaguars in the '96 AFC Championship when, and then I
Brewski.
Good stuff. That was the second AFC title the Patriots won, but I don't think they had the AFC trophy back in the '80s when the Patriots got routed by the Bears in the Lamar Hunt Trophy. I think they had that back in the when the Bears got routed the Patriots 46-10 back in '85. I don't think they had the trophies at the time.
I'm old enough to remember that one.
Yeah.
They had the trophies, but they didn't have the names of the trophies. They were just, these are the AFC champions. Here's your trophy. Go away. Now it's the Lamar Hunt trophy.
Yeah.
Now it has meaning.
Yeah.
Because remember, before the merger, the AFL was its own league. So they had to have a championship for the AFL, and then the NFL was its own league, and they had a championship for that, and that's how they meet in the Super Bowl. But enough down history lane on that.
Well,
yeah.
I'm not old enough to remember that, but I know the history, so we'll just go
good
with
block
that.
by Zach Bauer on the running play, LSU tight end.
Yeah, he's looking good. Like him. I'm gonna have to ride him up next when we get off here.
Yeah, I've got Justin Jolly I'm high on Justin
Yeah.
Jolly too. So Jolly and Bauer, those are the two.
Jake Jolly, isn't it?
Justin Jolly, NC State tight end. But yeah.
Oh.
And
anyway.
then, Rich Eisen, they're talking about Parcells here. This is like from when Eisen was on SportsCenter. He looks really young. But, I guess that's it. I guess that's it for the West practices. Let's find out if there is some tape for, let's find out if there's some tape for the East team, the East practice. Do we have anything?
Yeah.
Day 0 throwing session. And then we have day 1, 256 plays. Okay. I don't know if we need that many plays, but yeah, we'll watch the East QB throwing session because I know Klubnik is in. Let's find out what numbers are on the East team for the QBs. Let's find out. East roster here. The QB numbers. Jalen Daniels is 15. Kyron Drones is 1. Baron Morton's number 10. So Morton's in this, and I'm guessing 11's Klubnik. Because I do not see 11. I don't see 11 in this number 11 listed here. No, Klubnik is 2. So Klubnik is 2. Morton is 10. Drones is 1, and Jalen Daniels is 15. That looks like number 7. I'll look that name up. 7's Harold Perkins. Are we sure this is the right drill here? Because a lot of these QBs, the numbers don't align up. I think that's Jalen Daniels. Number 9. That looks like. Let's see what we got here. Number 9, Eli Raridan, Notre Dame. This might either be the wrong year or this might be last year. It says 122-26 QB throwing session, but the numbers aren't congruent with what I'm seeing on the team website. There's 256 plays. We'll watch some of these, but I don't think the numbers are an accurate representation of what we're seeing in the drills. And I don't know who's who. Let's find out. Let's find out which Okay, so Klubnik was 5. 12, I don't know who that is, but I'm guessing 9 was Jalen Daniels. Because these numbers were different from the numbers that players actually wore in the practice session. Because this is a warm-up day.
I actually forgot about this guy, Jalen Daniels from Kansas.
He's in this. He's in the practice along with Klubnik. So Klubnik, number 8. I don't know who that is. Can't be any worse than Kenny Pickett. Was also number 8.
Burn.
Also wearing a hat like Pickett, coincidentally.
Man, Pickett's got my same birthday too. That's messed up.
11. I don't think that
Jalen Daniels though is very underrated, man.
Jalen Daniels, number 9. I think
I had a second round grade on him.
I had a
2 years ago
on him in the preseason.
Yeah, I had a second. So
yeah. Here we go. Here's Klubnik. Klubnik. What was that? And anytime I say what was that, that's not necessarily a good thing, but he's rebounded since he's made some good throws. There's 250 plays. If you want to watch the day 1 drills instead of the day 0 drills, like before day 1, let me know. But this is there's 256 plays. I counted the cadence for all the total throws before I clicked on the video. So this is play 23 of 256. If you want me to just go to day 1, let me know at any point, guys. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep this on. I think this is Jalen Daniels, William. Yeah, that's Jalen. Another good throw by Jalen Daniels. I think Jalen Daniels is number 9 in this video. In the other video, because the numbers only apply when they're wearing the jerseys. The quarterback numbers. Yeah. Is that Joey? Is he back? All right. Okay. Cool.
I go away. I've also got you guys on my computer, and I'll comment on X. But the thing is, I'm looking at this thing and saying, these guys are not throwing with anticipation.
All right.
They're
What do you
not-
want to click on? I'm on offense for the East team. What do you want me to click on? I can do QBs, O-line, 7-on-7s.
Tight
So there's
ends.
far more detail versus William says tight ends. I want QBs. Those are the first 2 we'll watch, but I'll let Joey break the tie. We go tight ends or we go QBs. It's 43 plays for the
We should go in the
QBs,
same order that we went with before. With
but the
with
order's different.
West.
The order's different for the West team. The order's different. Like the order for this, it starts with O-line versus D-line, 1-on-1s, which we did not really look at for the West team.
Well,
we
but
watched
skip
Parker
around.
Corleone.
Because we watch tight ends and then the quarterbacks, just click on them, just skip around.
Yeah, we watched the tight end. Joey, you've got the tiebreaker. You want to watch Klubnik and the quarterbacks, or you want to watch the tight ends first?
Well, I've seen enough with Klubnik right now to know that he is not throwing with anticipation. So
Yeah.
All right,
Let's
we'll
go
go
to
with
the
the tight ends. There's 20 tight end plays. There's only 43 quarterback plays. We'll go with the tight ends first.
Okay. All right.
and your
All right, so
XC
that's a
has
That's
a
a big
delay.
boy there. 88's a big boy, man.
Yep. So basically, these are all blocking
Who's number
drills.
88, Chris? Who's number 88? Yeah.
88 on the East team. 88 is Stribling.
Oh,
Dejon Stribling, the Ole Miss receiver. Some have him as a tight end,
he's definitely a tight end, man. Look
but
at
he's
his
listed
body.
as a receiver on the Shrine Bowl website.
Yeah, but look at his body. Just move him into flex.
Notre Dame
That's
tight
where he's
end.
going to go in the NFL.
Wait,
He
that's
looked like he was
89.
blocking
That's
pretty
not
well.
88. That's
Man,
89.
William, you are really hooked up on this guy's body.
Dallin Bentley of Utah is one of the tight ends here. That's Bentley, 89. It's not 88. 87 is USC tight end.
Yeah, that's not a tight end, man.
Well, Lake McRee is listed as a tight end on the Shrine Bowl
Well,
website.
yeah, but I just watched him. That's a big receiver.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Okay, so who was number 88? The first guy?
Stribling, but I didn't see him in the wide
Okay.
receiver drills. I saw 89 Bentley in the tight end drills. I didn't see
Gotcha.
Well-
The hand work for these tight ends on blocking is not good. They're, too high. They're too far to the outside. Their hand placement is just all over the place.
and here
Hey,
the tight
they
ends
need
are
to
going
be
up against
lower.
offensive linemen.
Well, they need to be lower, and their hands have to be, inside more. And these guys are like high, close to the chin. And some. Ideally, you want to be low enough where you can get under the shoulder pads, because those shoulder pads will come up and they'll knock the padding right underneath the chin, close to the windpipe. So and if you control the head You can't control the head directly, but you can control the head with the equipment. And if you can push that up, then you can push back. These guys are too high, they're too far to the outside. You got to get under that breastplate. That is where the legal holding comes in. You get under that breastplate, and that is going to change, and that'll show whether you're a good blocker on the line of scrimmage and a bad blocker on the line of scrimmage.
There's only one tight end that impressed me in terms of technique, and they didn't wow me. That's 9, the Notre Dame tight end. That's the only guy that impressed me from a technique standpoint, and he didn't wow me. So I just wanted to throw that out there. So
Fair enough.
I want to see the QBs, and then we can go in order. So we got 55 and 43 plays. All right. Well, no, that's O-line. So 43 plays, QB. Start with the QBs here, because I'm kind of curious to see what happens. All right. So Klubnik going to warm up, going to throw that pass. That's the first play. 10 is 10's not Klubnik, but I think Klubnik, and 15's Jalen Daniels. So Jalen Daniels drops back. 1 is Virginia Tech's quarterback.
I named Jalen Daniels evaluation lightning in a bottle.
Yep. Because you can see Jalen Daniels and Cade Klubnik have their helmets out. The other QBs have their helmets out too. But yeah, Jalen Daniels, great throw on the run there. But this is warm-ups. Hopefully they get to some other stuff here. I'll look up some names while let me know when the warm-ups are done and they actually throw to legitimate receivers and stuff. So Stribling's one of the receivers in here. Both of Georgia's receivers, Noah Thomas, Dylan Bell, are in this game. Colby Young, so all of Georgia's receivers. Incarnate World is a receiver in this. South Alabama's running back chose Chip Trainium, Toledo running backs on the East team. He was a backup at Ohio State. Drones and Morton is number 10. So number 10, who we saw, is Morton from Texas Tech. One of your favorites, William.
I thought he was number 2.
No, number 2 is Klubnik.
Okay.
2 is Klubnik, Cade Klubnik, Clemson, but Baron Morton is number 10. And
I like him.
Jalen Daniels.
I like him.
So
he's got some potential.
Yeah, we'll see what Morton does here. Nice drop back, nice 7-step drop, good throw on the run.
And he definitely flashed
this
season. So
yeah, everyone likes to say, "Oh, he had a bad game versus Oregon." Most of these QBs have been accurate in warmups, except for that one throw by Jalen Daniels. Everyone else has been accurate.
That's the problem with Jalen Daniels. Is his accuracy.
Yeah. And that, even though Klubnik completed that was not a great throw.
Yeah, I saw that.
To tell you that Joey's probably pointed out multiple times that Klubnik's made throws like that all year. Jalen Daniels, another inaccurate
jump pass.
throw. Yeah, the coach had to jump to catch it.
Yeah, no, Jalen Daniels, he came off the ground when he threw it, like up, not forward. It was weird. That's why it was inaccurate. Dude, mechanics, that's his problem. That's why he's inaccurate. We were talking about mechanics with blocking. Well, there's body mechanics with all these players, and Patrick Mahomes screwed up everything. My first ever formal evaluation, it was Will Levis, and it was called the good, the fad, and the ugly. The fad because of Patrick Mahomes and what everybody's trying to be him. So they're throwing loose. They're not using mechanics, and it's not good, man.
I like to call this the Dan Orlovsky drill, because the quarterbacks, they've got one leg in the end zone like Dan Orlovsky when he had that safety against the Vikings.
All you had to do, man. he's got some just awful takes, man. I don't know how he
Yeah.
has a job.
His
It's like,
takes have gotten worse
oh
over the
man,
years.
they're bad. It's because he's a yes man. You
Yes.
know, he goes along with
He is a yes
with their
man because he
yeah
had a tweet that was opinionated, and then ESPN told him to delete it, and he did.
yeah
So he's
yeah.
always been a yes man.
Oh well, Daniel Kelly told me to take one down one time, but it was understandable. I actually don't remember what it was, but yeah,
Yeah.
it
Nobody's ever
just
told me to
throw that
take
out
tweets
there.
down.
Yeah,
And I worked in another company before I worked at Draft Utopia. It was it's called Rant
sure.
Sports back in the day. I
I
never
I
yeah,
know that name.
yeah.
Interesting.
Because me and Riley, I think Riley Schmidt were the two featured writers there. And when I had an
Yeah,
article on NFL.com, he had an article on Yahoo. So a company just
yeah,
overlooked the fact that I made NFL.com because he was making more money
yeah,
for the business. But yeah, Riley's a veterinarian now, and I run Draft Utopia. So it's funny how things change.
yeah. That is for sure, man. Club name. But yeah, man, it's like shooting pool. You know, I'm good at shooting pool, and you know, this one guy, he would wait until everyone left the bar, and he would come in there and shoot pool with me, and he wouldn't like say like out loud, like, or say outright, well, this is what you do, this kind of stuff. No, like he would just like talk to himself about what he was doing, like just out loud. And that was him teaching me to shoot pool and mechanics. Every
Yeah.
time I went to shoot a shot, I heard his voice say mechanics, you know, and it was like, yeah. And that's what happens with these kids now. It's like Will Levis could have been a great quarterback, you know, if he'd have had mechanics. But you know, now his shoulders all jacked up and everything else from throwing
Yep.
without mechanics. It's like, come on, man.
Now we'll go in order and we'll see what we missed here. This is O line versus D line, 20 plays.
Yeah.
Everyone wondering, when are you guys going to get to your conference title picks? We'll get to them at noon, regardless of how much progress we make. I could watch film all day. Like if it were up to me, I could watch
Yeah.
film all day.
That's all I watch, dude. I hardly ever watch football for pleasure. I literally watch just a lot of film.
Yeah, this is DJ Campbell. So this is O line versus D line reps.
I still remember this
Joey's
kid in
here.
high
I don't
school.
know. I forgot to turn his mic off. I don't want to end the stream, restream. I don't want to end the stream. I want to turn Joey's mic on. He's been here for like 5 minutes. How rude of me, but yeah.
We're sorry, Joey.
Sorry. That's on me. That's my fault. I'll take responsibility for that.
Wow, there's some TV in the background or something. It was just bad. I don't know where it was coming from, but it was, yeah, weird
right.
noises, dude.
What do we got in
Okay.
the chat room?
I was trying to say something, and for some reason, the audio wasn't coming through to you guys. I don't know what was happening there, so I had to restart the. I had to restart the entire thing.
No worries.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I wanted to say something
cool,
about
man.
Kip Klubnik. He looks so robotic. I love the wrist snap on his release, but when he goes to throw, he goes from too low of a point, and when he brings the ball up, he stops again. Then he brings the ball up again and begins his throwing process. And it's like the throwing process itself is like a second and a half. That is way, way too long. So he's going to have to shorten that down. He's going to have to be less
Robotic was
robotic.
the same word that Williams' mentor Daniel Kelly used to describe Klubnik, but he did not go into as much detail of it as you did. Maybe he did if you read the write-up, but it felt
Can
like
you
you
pick
went
it,
into
man?
greater detail when analyzing him as a prospect.
Can you pick it? it's his floor.
Yeah. And that's why you tell guys, you'll be less mechanical and you'll have a shorter windup the higher you hold the darn ball. But they want to hold that darn thing down there, under their chest, and then they wonder, oh my God, why do we get it intercepted and batted and everything? Hold that damn thing up. Because if they can't jump, because you've already got the ball past the line of scrimmage, they can't knock it down. Very simple.
Yep, Duke edge rusher, Kentucky offensive lineman. I was hoping we'd see Giovanni El Hadi, the Michigan guard who had the season-ending injury, but I don't think he's practicing. I think he's suited up, but I don't think he's practicing. I don't know if he's not medically cleared yet or what the deal is. But I think there's only 20 reps in this drill. We'll be a little bit more selective about what drills to watch because we're not going to have much time. If we do NFL predictions at noon, we're not going to have much time to watch other drills. I want to watch every drill, believe me. If it were up to me, I'd say, yeah, let's watch every drill. Screw it.
Yeah.
My God, man, that Oregon defensive tackle there, his stance is so wide. Somebody's going to fall on his leg, and that thing's going to snap in half.
Yeah, and there's Giovanni El Hadi. Great block by El Hadi.
For all young players, shoulder width. You go out there like that, you try to get down, somebody's going to fall on your leg. You are going to end up with ACL surgery, compound fractures, broken fibulas, broken tibias. You are going to be in a world of hurt.
DJ Campbell.
Put that thing down.
And then a replay of the same block, just at a different angle. DJ Campbell wins. And that's the guy that played with Peter Woods at Clemson. So what do we got? Running backs versus linebackers. We can do running backs versus linebackers, or let's do one wide receiver, tight end versus defense.
I don't know. It's like I'm watching the tape on my computer as I'm listening to you guys. That LSU defensive end is relentless.
Harold Perkins Jr., I think. I don't know if he's listed as a D end or a linebacker. He's listed as a linebacker, I think, but he is utilized as an edge rusher at LSU.
Yeah, because he was the guy I think we talked about last year. I just wasn't sure because of the number. But, man, he was relentless. It's like he saw a guy that was twice his size, and he just smashed into him like a freaking brick wall. I mean,
yeah. Jalen Daniels just some bad throws here in the one-on-ones. That's the Virginia Tech quarterback. Nice throw there. Who's that? Wide receivers, tight ends.
I'm not seeing a lot of. I saw deep passes for the tight ends, but these guys, both sides are just making these receivers look like junior high school grade receivers with some of these routes. I mean, these are some of the most basic routes. And I think that is I think one of the reasons for that is what I mentioned earlier, is that outside of about 4 or 5 receivers, these guys are basic. Yeah, they may have all the athletic in the world, but they are basic as hell in this draft, and they're going to have to learn 90% of the receivers I say in this draft are going to have to learn the entire route. I have seen 4, 5 that impressed me. One of them slow as shit. One almost got ready out.
When I did the tape for the wide receivers back in August, the only receiver that ran all 30 routes on the route tree was Carnell Tate. A lot of the guys, whether it be Jordan Tyson, only ran 15 of the 30 routes at the time. And it's not a great route tree draft.
It's like Surratt. I love Surratt. I love his hand catching ability. I love the route running. But what does he do that is so abysmal to me? He can't run. He almost got walked down by a middle linebacker. I could have caught his ass, and I got one good leg and a freaking busted spine, and I could have run him down on that. I mean, dude, he doesn't pick up his legs. I think that is a lot of the speed problem with these guys, is that pick up your knees, dude. You're not running uphill. Football fields are straight. Pick up your knees and get some speed going. Get some breakaway ability. I mean, it's Fred sitting there running like he's grandma. I mean, that's not going to work. Not in the NFL. You're not going to get yards. Grandma is not going to get yards in the NFL.
'87. That's the USC tight end who caught that. Who's throwing him the ball? Is that Jalen or is that Morton? Okay, so here we got Jalen Daniels again, lined up. One-on-one drill. What a dime. No, that was incomplete. The ref signaled his arm sideways. That's usually an incomplete pass. But what an effort, though, by Jalen on that. This is probably the same play, different angle. Yeah, he just barely overthrew it. And, yep, saw the flag on the play. So, I'm guessing it was DPI because I saw some grabbing by the defensive back.
Number 10 is impressing me a little bit. He keeps the ball at a nice height. He moves well in the pocket. I mean, he throws the ball well, but his timing is a little off on some throws.
Yeah, that's Baron Morton, the Texas Tech quarterback that Williams high on.
Yeah, it's like his timing's a little off on some throws. And it's like that last one where it caused him to overthrow a receiver. I saw one earlier where it caused him to throw behind the receiver. He's got to get his timing down, and when he does that, his footwork should straighten itself out. He's got to get his timing down. He throws a little late. He throws a little early. He's got to get that timing right.
I agree. Klubnik chucks it deep. That was an accurate throw by Klubnik. The receiver dropped it. That was I don't know if I'd say rare accurate throw, but that was an accurate throw. The receiver just dropped it. Look, there's a replay of that. Yep, same throw. That was a dime, but the receiver dropped it. So Klubnik, what's he going to do here? That was he overthrew that and he threw it into coverage, but the coverage was good there. I'm not really going to blame a receiver, but that was a flag. Yeah, the Shrine Bowl, they're doing what the Senior Bowl does now. They put flags down during practice, whenever it's a penalty. And that was a great throw. I'm not sure if that was hold on. I think okay. Everyone's here. I thought Joey disconnected for a second. Sorry, that's my fault. All right, so Jalen Daniels.
I swear, Klubnik's going to come out his first game in the NFL. He's going to come through the stadium, and they're going to start playing Domo Oregano, Mr. Roboto.
He's going to the senior. I think he's going to be in the Senior Bowl next week too, as a late addition. Cade Klubnik. He might be. I don't know.
Interesting. Put it this way, I like Klubnik just a little bit more than Jalen Daniels.
Yeah. Same.
Like I said, Jalen Daniels is like trying to catch lightning in a bottle, and he's going to do stupid things as long as he doesn't, get the quarterback's coach. That's going to teach him to use some mechanics. And a lot of his throws, it's like using English shooting pool. Usually, if you're good, 70% of the time you don't shoot with English. It's just one of those things. And 70% of the time he doesn't need to be throwing sidearm stuff. He can have some mechanics there.
I've seen that as well. And I think Klubnik could be an NFL quarterback, maybe a top 20 NFL quarterback, if just loosen up. My God, man.
His
just fluid
ceiling, his ceiling is oh, I just had the name. His ceiling. Oh, Kirk Cousins. That's the ceiling.
That's what I feel like Mendoza's ceiling is, but we'll see.
The
Yeah,
thing with
that about is.
Cousins is smooth, and
Well,
that
yeah,
is why people love him. That's why coaches love. He's so smooth in everything he does. And Klubnik is so bloody clunky in everything he does. It's like you will see moments of brilliance, and you'll see that. Oh man, his release is so awesome. What's he
yeah.
do to get to that release? I mean, it's like it's just
That's it.
fun.
That's exactly what I saw with Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
You know, I saw brilliance, and then I saw him screw things up, and I'm like, oh well,
Yeah.
that was unnecessary.
What was it I said in the off season about Klubnik? Is he's one of these guys that will either make a franchise look brilliant or get everybody in the building down to the vendor final. I mean, he is because he's so blame clunky. He will make brilliant throws. He will make everybody stand up and cheer, and then they'll be like, "The hell was that? You're all fired."
What do you guys want to watch? We got 7-on-7 offense, running backs, team 1 offense, team 2 offense, wide, skinny.
Running backs.
Let's go with running backs. All right.
Yeah,
Running backs were
I
running
gotta
backs.
see this.
Yeah,
I want to see
if
how
Pat
this
Brown
class
7-on-7.
compares to last
I'm
year.
gonna go back first with linebackers.
I'm
gonna
I
go
want to
running backs
see how
first
this
with
class
linebackers.
compares to last year. You know, I said last year
Yeah.
that there was going to be starting running backs taken in every round, and that happened.
Yeah, it's like
You know.
last year's class was a really good class because I had
Yeah,
concerns about last year's class, not because of what they could do, but what was the young guys that were already in there. And
yeah,
it was so fun because they fit right into what was already in the NFL. And that was what I wasn't expecting, is to have so many guys that could fit with the young guys that were already there.
Yep.
And it made such a fun combination. So I'm right with you, William.
yeah.
It's like it was so nice to see. I want to see how these guys compare because if we can get another class like that, man, who cares if the receivers are bad this year? Because we got all these running backs.
This class feels more top heavy than deep, though. I think Jeremiah loves running back 1, but I think after that, you've got 3 other guys that could be running back 2. Jonah Coleman of Washington, Emmett Johnson of Nebraska, Mark Fletcher Jr. of Miami, Florida.
Where's Singleton at?
Nicholas Singleton was a guy at a preseason first on. I'm not sure if he declared.
Yeah.
I feel like
when's the deadline to declare?
It was the 14th.
Oh, okay.
And Friday for Indiana and Miami, Florida players.
I like it when it's on Friday the 13th. So much of a better storyline.
Yep.
Like,
oh man,
we're all gonna die.
It's crazy. Check this out, man. Check this out. My dad was born on fucking Friday the 13th. My mom was born on April 20th, 420. I was born on June 6th, freaking D-Day. My sister was born on December 7th, when my grandpa was on the USS Oklahoma and it was sunk at Pearl Harbor, but he had to swim under the oil and back to shore to get out, and otherwise,
So you're an apocalyptic stoner.
So, huh?
You're an apocalyptic stoner.
Yeah, something like that. It's crazy.
All right,
Numbers follow me. Numbers follow me like none other, dude. Like 13 and like angel numbers like 1111, you know, shit like that. 333, 111, 222, all that shit. Those numbers follow me constantly, dude. I see them like all the fucking time. It's crazy. But
you might want to see a counselor.
We have a division
you see these things floating on top of the, If you're looking, all of a sudden, my land, there's a 313 right on top of that wall right there. You know, you might wanna, wanna get that look.
Well, I like to go with the one answer I got. I asked this one girl, and I said, "What, does that mean?" And she said, "Well, that means that you're headed in the right direction." So, as long as I'm seeing those numbers, I am headed in the right direction.
We've got 2 American Bowl, Senior Bowl invites that have been added at the last minute. Tyron Montgomery from John Carroll University is one of the Division III players, one of the last-minute Senior Bowl call-ups, and Ethan Aninwa, the Ohio State left tackle that transferred from Rice. He was the backup left tackle on Ohio State, but he transferred to Ohio State from Rice. He is a last-minute invite for the Senior Bowl. So those are both.
And he was well coached at Rice because Rice's head coach until he left for the Browns was Callahan, one of the guys who was a mentor of Callahan. So offensive line wise, he was coached pretty well at Rice. So he went to a very good situation where he got to sit behind some very good offensive linemen and learn the Division I game. And now he's going to continue to get really good coaching. So, I really like that he's being added, and I like the coaching that he's gotten. And I think if he has a good showing in this game, he could be one we're talking about when it comes to mid to late round sleepers.
And Luke McCaffrey went to Rice.
And the Shrine Bowl, it's actually snowing outside where the Shrine Bowl practices are held.
Oh, wow.
Because the Shrine Bowl practices are held
man.
at the Dallas Cowboys practice facility. That's where the Shrine Bowl practices are held. It's the Cowboys practice facility.
Now, is it snowing as bad as it was during the Steelers-Browns game, or is it torrential freaking whiteout? I got to know. Is that nice light snow, or is it the?
It's like in Dallas, but I hear we're supposed to get Brown Steelers snow in Pittsburgh this weekend. So.
Oh, okay, I guess that's decent, But man, I was hoping for freaking playing a big bowl game like 6 feet of snow.
I agree. I would love to see an all-star game with play in the snow. I think that would be amazing.
For real, man. It would be amazing to play in that game because I would play.
Oh, I have some of my best memories playing in snow like that.
Uh-huh.
I remember playing in a blizzard, which was not one of my best memories, as people were putting coats over me as I was shivering before I had to get back on the field. Why they even let that game happen, I'll never know. And then there was the whiteout that was caused by rain when I was coaching, which I was miserable because I wasn't moving and I couldn't see the field, so it was just like yelling into the wind. That sucked. And the quarterback had to come off the field, tell us what happened on the play, so we could send back in another play at random. I mean, that type of game just absolutely sucks. But it's like, right there, not that, not fun, but great to watch. As long as it's on TV. If you're there, just leave it out here. Leave it on the other side.
There's 3 30-goal scorers in the NHL this year. Only 2 of them are in the Olympics. McDavid and McKinnon are the 2 in the Olympics. The third 30-goal scorer is Jason Robertson on Dallas. He did not make Team USA. Bill Guerin, the head coach of the Minnesota Wild, he's in charge of the roster construction for Team USA, and he did not put Robinson on the team, even though
There's no inclement weather in the NHL. I mean, you're interrupting me and William reminiscing here.
Well, I'm talking about the Olympic rosters. I'm not talking necessarily about the NHL. I'm talking about the Olympic rosters for hockey, which are going to take place in a few weeks.
Check this out, Joey. Growing up playing Little League.
Plus,
Field, and we called it the Dust Bowl.
because literally it was just all dirt. There wasn't anything. It was in this little river valley, and the wind would come up there every day at noon, and it would last all the way until about 7, 8 o'clock at night. Man, we would go out there and freaking play. You couldn't see anything. I was a pitcher, man, and literally, that was the only time that I ever threw a wild pitch, and man, I love that shit. It was so fun.
Oh yeah, that sounds fun as hell. Well,
And I might be giving,
fun as hell. Yeah, I'd say fun.
Like every other weekend, man. It was like.
and I might be giving you guys the opportunity to do your own show next week, because next week, me and a friend might be going up to Penn State for the outdoor hockey game between Michigan State and Penn State. So I might, if I'm in the car with my friend, I might just give William and Joey the floor. I'll still set up the show, be in the background, but I'll have my volume turned down. I'll basically let William and Joey run the show for the first time ever. So I'd be in the background, but I really wouldn't. I'd have my camera turned off, and basically I'd only be there to make sure the show is recorded and everything. So that will be next week if I go to Penn State with my friend to watch Michigan State, Penn State, because it's an outdoor hockey game at Beaver Stadium. It's like the NHL Winter Classic for college hockey, and Gavin McKenna projected #1 pick in this year's NHL draft. I would get to see him in that game where Michigan State plays Penn State. That's a 1 p.m. game. That's 1 p.m. Eastern. I don't know if we're going yet. The tickets are under $40. I don't know if we're going yet. If the snow is as bad as it's expected to be over the next week, we might not go. So that is a wait situation.
Don't tease us like that.
Well, Chris, you know that I have hosted and been a showrunner for this podcast on many occasions. So you know I can hit that way. And you know William's got a little bit, just tiny bit experience running a show every now and then.
Not only do I know you're both experienced to run a show in my absence, I trust both of you enough to where I'm ready to turn things over if I can't make it next Saturday. So just throwing that heads up. But yeah.
Now we're going to have a drunken bender, and we're going to sit here and party at a Super Bowl, shuffle from the Bears and Eagles.
All right. Let's share this tab instead, and we'll get some conference title predictions. Don't get me on film, but we got to get to our conference title games. Some more film after that. But I want to be out of here by 1 or 2. But yeah, Patriots, Broncos.
We better get out of here by 1 because my phone ain't going to take 2.
All right. Okay. All right. 1 it is. Then. Not arguing with Joey. All right, let's get to work here. Patriots, Broncos. I mean, the Patriots, I feel like they are the more complete team. Denver does not have Bo Nix. If they did, this game would be a lot closer. I still think the Patriots are only going to win by 1 score. And the reason I'm doing this is because every time I pick the Patriots to win by 1 score, they win by double digits. I want that to continue, even into the Super Bowl. So it's like
you're trying to buck the system, man.
Yes, exactly, precisely.
Well, here's the problem for the Patriots. Even though I think they're going to win, they're mainly going to win, in my opinion, because Bo Nix is not there.
Yeah.
It's not going to work, Chris.
Because
it's just
the left tackle, the Patriots left
all the time,
has been one of the worst tackles in the playoffs. Yeah. Okay, he's been one of the worst offensive linemen in the playoffs. He's given up like 1 sack, but he's given up 7 or 8 pressures.
Will Campbell only gave up 5 sacks in the regular season, but he's been god awful in these 2 playoff games.
Yeah, he's given up pressures, and he's given up 1 sack, 7 pressures.
Jared, both rookies have been bad. Both rookies have been equally bad.
Yeah, so I think your prediction might actually come true in this one. because
I took
I
Patriots
don't think
24, Broncos 17. I took Patriots 24, Broncos 17. The spread's 4.5. I've got the Patriots covering the spread, but I don't think they're going to dominate and win by
I would go closer to 20-17, to be honest with you, because I don't see those offensive tackles holding up against Denver's pass rush, but at the same time, I don't see Denver's offense without Bo Nix being able to stand up, against,
Morgan Moses
well,
hasn't given up a
everybody.
sack these entire playoffs, where Will Campbell has. So if Bonino
Well-
plays his 34 left outside linebacker role and goes up against the right tackle, it might come down to whether Cooper can get by Will Campbell. And I think if Campbell's going up against Cooper, he's going to have a much better chance. If he's going up against Bonito, he's going to have a rough day.
Talking about Bo Nix, listening to his teammates and what they said about him, just how cool he is. We're just going to go down here and score a touchdown and win the game. And they believe in him and then he goes out there and just does it, and that is the intangibles that Bo Nix has. That's why he was a first round pick. That's why Sean Payton saw a little bit of Drew Brees in him and said, hey, this is my guy. And, I called that. And it was just one of those things.
And that's why I was on Bo Nix's side throughout his college career, dating back to Auburn. It's like I saw that in him.
He was
It's like,
bad at Auburn. He was terrible at Auburn. And well, he came in his first game and beat Oregon.
He beat Herbert in
But
his first game.
but the thing was, his teammates believed in him.
Yeah.
And if you've got that leadership, if you've got that where your teammates believe in you, you can be given the leeway to improve incrementally because your teammates are going to be behind you no matter what. And that gives you a lot of leeway.
Yeah, and if he doesn't beat Justin Herbert in his first career start, he probably doesn't get that leeway as he develops. I think Herbert in his first start.
And that's exactly what he did. He stuck around and he developed. Even though he jumped schools, he developed over a couple of years. And that's what these players need to do. A 1-year wonder. Like Kenny Pickett. That's scary, man.
Yeah, it's
And
something that it's a long-standing thing I have that I hate it when a quarterback comes in and has immediate success with no drawbacks because that irritates me because you know the drawback's going to come and you know it's going to come in a major way. The question
there's
is
some of them that come out there and surprise you. It's like, oh wow, it's like these guys were they trained for this. They're built for this.
Yeah, and that's why a guy like Bo Nix is so good because he's not going to wow you. He's not going to have that overwhelming success, but he's going to continually just gradually roll along. He's going to get that. He's going to roll along. He's just going to keep going, and that is encouraging because that shows that he's ever growing, but he's steady.
Yeah,
and type of guy that
I watched him go from not throwing with the anticipation to throwing with anticipation. He knows where his receivers are going to be.
There's one common theme. Both Bo Nix and Jarrett Stidham played at Auburn, and Carlton Davis was on Auburn when he was teammates with Jarrett Stidham. So Carlton Davis probably knows the cadences, the tells, all the giveaways that Jarrett Stidham had from his time at Auburn. And he can teach that to the Patriots defense. McDaniels can teach the other Patriots coaching staff what he knows from his history with Jarrett Stidham. So I think that does favor the Patriots.
Well,
Jarrett Stidham stuck around for a reason, and it's because he can run the offense. He and it's the same thing. Bo Nix is a better quarterback, but Stidham has a couple years experience on Nix, and
it's like Stidham, and it's kind of like the Dylan Gabriel type thing where he's stuck around so long, he knows the offense, he knows every offense you can give. He's not going to
Yeah,
up, but he's not going to do anything bad. But he's
the
going to run your
University of
offense.
Central Florida is where players go when they can't go anywhere else. That's the scary part. That
That way to give an endorsement to Central Florida.
I really do like John Rice Plumley though. He is a football player. And
Come on, man. Build it back up. Build it back up. Give Central Florida a little bit of love. Come on, man. You just buried the entire program.
anyway.
He's
So
just scolding you. He's looking at you, William. He looks angry. He looks like a pissed off version of the Jolly Green Giant. A pissed off version, not a happy version, but a pissed off version.
there we go. Oh, yes, sir. Anyway, so what were we talking about? Oh, Stidham. Yeah. No, he's gonna do well in this offense, but Drake May is just gonna be too much. He has a hot hand.
Yeah, and I think the Patriots corners, they're gonna do a great job limiting Denver's receivers in this game. And Denver's got some receivers that are banged up from last week's game against the Bills.
I gave up
Pat Bryant,
a second round. I gave up a second or two first round picks to move up to 1.02 a couple of years ago in this one league, and then draft Drake May because he was my QB1, and it's like this guy is he's landed in a good spot, and it's like, oh, here we go. So
it's crazy, but Barmore, Milton, Williams have played really well on the interior. I know the Broncos have great guard play. Their interior offensive line, the tackles have been terrific, McGlinchey and Bulls. And I know Harold Landry's out, but I don't think that's going to matter. I just think New England's the better team, and they're due to win at some point in Mile High, and this is probably their best opportunity to win in Denver.
Do they have anybody who played at Central Florida?
No, they do not.
Because we're going to have to look at that from now on, man. I have to look at it.
I mean, I think William brought up Gabriel playing at Central Florida. I don't think anyone else, either of these teams has a player on
RJ Harvey also
Harvey,
came out of Central Florida.
Central Florida. Yeah,
and
played Central
he
Florida
might be a 4-3 back. He played with John Rice Plumley. He might be Plumley is faster, and it's scary fast. RJ Harvey might be a 4-3 back, but it takes him forever to get up there. He doesn't excel very quick at all, and that's why he was at freaking Central Florida. They hate it when you say Central Florida. Anyway, never mind.
Central Florida did win the
RJ Hart. It was obvious
conference in college soccer.
Peyton didn't know what he was getting with RJ Harvey, and right after the rookie mini camps, they signed J.K. Dobbins and that other running back, and it's because they got hustled. That was too high of a pick for RJ Harvey. And it's just that simple, man.
Yeah, I mean, RJ Harvey did win player of the game one time, but he had 100 total yards against the Raiders. It wasn't a great performance, and William thought I should have went with someone else in the team.
Yeah.
But he had 25 rushing yards, 75 receiving. But yeah. What's on the background of my TV now? Oh, it's the World Juggling Federation. That's juggling competition. That's what's on the background of my TV.
I'm going to ask
you could juggle for hand-eye coordination and processing time. I mean processing.
Yeah, this guy from Germany, he looks looks a little bit like Drake May.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely German then.
Question right now. Where the former Florida coach, where did he go? Florida coach, Napier, because I thought he went to Rice.
He is James Madison's new head coach.
James Madison, James Madison,
Indiana.
James Madison is the best hustler in college football right now. He is a very bad coach, but his recruiting methods, I don't know how he does it, but he gets some of the best talent in football. James Madison might be one of the most talented teams in football next year with the worst record. He is that good a hustler. He is a college hustler. So, he's going to have his own magazine.
I bet. But yeah, only person that picked Denver to win was Tracy Porter. I think the Patriots are the best team left in this field. When they're fully healthy and they don't commit turnovers, this is the best team on paper. But Drake May and Will Campbell have to play a lot better in these final 2 games for them to go the distance.
In my opinion, the Denver, if they're fully healthy with Bo Nix, they would have been the team to beat.
I agree. But
without Bo Nix, it's a no.
The thing is, though, the Patriots needed – I thought there were only 3 teams in this entire field that could beat the Patriots. The Bills, the Broncos with Bo Nix, and the Bears. 2 of those teams got eliminated, and Bo Nix got injured. So, basically, every break the Patriots needed to go their way for them to win the Super Bowl this year went their way. Now it's just a matter of can they finish. Because, yeah, that's the thing, Joey. And we'll dive into this conversation a little bit deeper when we do our Super Bowl show. But if the Patriots get there, but yeah, it's like those breaks are what New England needed in order to have a shot at this, and they got all 3. So it is what it is. Rams Seahawks in Seattle. I'm gonna go Rams 28-27. I just think, Surtain and Gonzalez are the top 2 corners in the league this year. So, I think they're both going to have big games in the secondary. But both quarterbacks are going to avoid targeting them. So the other corners, Carlton Davis, Riley Moss has not been great this year, but this might be the week he has that big game as Denver's number 2 corner. Rams Seahawks. I think the Rams, they have got to. They Adams and Cooper are going to be the stars because I think both teams are going to try to eliminate JSN and Nakua's ability to make an impact. And while the Seahawks are not going to be great at eliminating Nakua's ability, I think the winner of the AFC Championship will be able to blanket Nakua in the Super Bowl. Because again,
this is going to be a weird thing I'm going to say because I don't think I've ever said it before. The Seahawks have a better team, but they're going to lose. Why are they going to lose? Because the Rams have the best slot receivers and the best, if you put them down in the middle of the field, between the hashes, they are better than anybody else in the NFL. Point blank, done, and it's a mile, it is a landslide. And where's Seattle's strength? The outside. Where are the Rams' strengths? The inside. And right there, that puts Seattle at a major disadvantage.
I don't think the Rams have very many good receivers outside of Nakua. Their best receiver outside of Nakua is Adams. I don't have a lot of confidence in
Nakua is also.
I also don't have a lot of confidence in Jordan Whittington.
Arguably the best receiver in the league. So,
yeah. Seattle's got JSN, but I don't have a lot of confidence in the Rams receivers outside of Nakua. I think whichever receiver advances, it's going to have problems with Gonzalez.
Well, that's the thing. Yet when you have somebody like Nakua who can go over the middle and draw that much attention, the other guy that goes over the middle is going to have one guy at best, and usually a secondary guy, and that's what makes it so effective.
I'm just not impressed with the Rams slot receivers. I'm impressed with their tight end depth. Higbee, Parkinson, their rookie tight end, Terrence Ferguson. I'm impressed with their tight end depth. I'm not as impressed with their slot receivers, even though I know Whittington did have a good game last week.
All right, Chris, who's going to guard him over the middle? Nakua and the tight ends and the slot receiver and the other slot receiver. Who's going to guard him over the middle on Seattle?
I like Nick Emanwari and Julian Love. I think Emanwari would be my defensive rookie of the year, the strong safety for Seattle. I know he missed half the season. That's probably why Carson Wessinger's going to win it. But when Eamon Warmy was healthy, I thought he was the best defensive rookie in the league this year. And you got Julian Love back at full health as well. And you got Josh Joby, Rick Woolen, and Devin Witherspoon. So you've got 5 quality defensive backs on Seattle now, unlike in the first 2 regular season meeting games. If Seattle wins, that'll be the difference.
Well, that's to be decided because they have not shown that they can be the difference. And if they're not on the field, guess what? They're not available.
Wow.
What's your best ability? Availability.
Yes, but they've been available in the playoffs. They may not have been available very much in the regular season, but they've been available in the playoffs, Joey. So
This
and we didn't get to see them against the Rams.
That's
So
how I see it, man. If we lost, my Niners lost to whoever, I want to say that we got beat by the best, and Seattle is the best that
well,
we played. So, and
would-
yeah, sure, we beat them week 1 in Seattle, but obviously,
they were healthier and they adjusted.
yeah. We had all our week 1 starters. Our week 1 starters missed something like 78 games total.
Yeah.
Which is
well,
really
I can't say that because I'm a Browns
yeah.
fan, and we can't say that. Okay, so
Yeah.
you're making me feel bad, man.
But no, that's it. And JSN was my wide receiver too that year. I mean, dude is just awesome. That's why I drafted him. And
JSN's on the cover.
under the bleachers.
I
Under the
did pick the
bleachers, he
Rams
was
to
my
win, but
first
we
skill
did put
position
JSN
player.
on the cover.
Yeah, and that's why I love the
Okay,
Alabama receiver.
Joey,
It's
check
just
this out.
because of JSN.
Joey,
You know,
check this out.
I'm
In
checking.
our under the bleachers league with Chris, I drafted Drake May in the first. I drafted JSN in the second, and I drafted all these players, and I have been absolutely. My goal, I said before the season, was that I was going to win a championship by year 3, and well, it might be year 2. So,
Oh,
We'll see.
yeah.
well,
Not my
Mr.
first round pick
I
this year, but
drafted
I was
like
your
90.
first round pick in
I drafted like
2027.
90% rookie or
Well,
yeah, like
William,
90% rookies. I traded around and picked up all kinds of other draft picks, and I picked up like I rolled down from I was 112, I think, and I made 2 little tiny trades, one with Chris and one with this other guy, and I rolled down to 2.3, and I picked Cam Scatabo, and then right behind him, Chris was sitting there, and he threatened to draft. Uh, who was it that I was
I
after,
was
Chris?
looking at 2 guys. I was looking at Matthew Golden and Luther Burden, and
Luther Burden.
I like both guys equally. So I basically said, William, if you
He
want
threatened.
either guy, you
He
got to come up.
threatened me.
You got to come move up.
So I gave him a late round pick and moved up and moved up because I had the spot behind him. He was just the one spot ahead of me. So I just flipped that one spot for a late round pick.
Yeah.
And I picked Luther Burden. So yeah.
That was a great trade.
Chris. Well, here's the thing, William. If I ever become a head coach of an NFL team, you're going to be my pro scout. Because you're fleecing everybody right now. You're fleecing everybody. It's like, if you know the game this well, it's like, here you go. You're my pro scout. Make sure I fleece everybody. That's your job. $2 million a year to just fleece everybody. That's your job.
I can definitely do that. I appreciate it, man.
Just make everybody look like a bunch of gobshites, and I would even throw in a Domino's pizza.
And likewise, man, the guys that I would hire if I ever got, to a place where I could like that, and I've said it before, is Chris, Daniel Kelly, and actually now you. we've been talking and getting things around, you know. So
Yeah.
it's absolutely one of those things, man. To see your guys' points of view, you know, compared to what I would, you know, what I was thinking, or something like that, you know.
Yeah, and I like the I'm going Rams 28-27, but I think this game's going to be really close, and it could honestly go either way. I initially had the Seahawks winning,
You
but with
know,
Clay Martin calling this game, I think the Rams do
there
just
was
win.
a 30-year period. It was 1980 to 2010, and the Rams were the worst team. They had the worst record. They lost the most games in that time. Or no, 1970 to 2000, and then all of a sudden, you know, Kurt Warner and all of them come along, and Torrey Holt, and one of those things. But no, Seahawks, man. You know, of our rivals, the first rivalry I ever remember was the Rams versus the Niners, and it was because they were in the same NFC West, and
Yeah.
that's the first thing I actually remember. But in this game right now, I want the Seahawks to win, and then I want the Patriots to
I think the
slap them
Patriots are going to
around.
beat either of these teams in the big game in a few
Yes,
weeks.
yes, they
We'll
are.
see.
Yeah, for real. But like I said, I think it's going to be
I think it's going to be a heck of a
Seattle.
game. I took
Yes,
the Rams initially. I took Seattle initially, then I flipped to the Rams because I saw the officiating favored the Rams, but I honestly would rather play the Seahawks. But I think the Patriots are going to win either way. And
yeah,
most people are picking the
for real.
NFC champion. They're fading New England.
But you know, when rivalry games make it to the championship game, that makes it for one hell of a game, man.
Yeah, I agree.
It's going to be good.
That's why I think the Rams and Seahawks is going to come down to the last score.
Yep.
It may even come down to who has the ball last.
Yep.
It may. I'm not saying it will. I'm saying it may.
Seahawks are rolling, man.
Seahawks are rolling, but
Just
I
like
think
the Patriots, and they're going to clash in the Super Bowl, man.
But I think the Rams have the matchup and the experience advantages. So, but I think Seattle has the better team. So that's where the conflict comes in, because can the Rams take advantage of the matchup, especially when it comes to passing? Well, that's going to come down to Shieldhouse.
I
I
like
he
the better
head
team.
coach. He says Shieldhouse is on a head coaching list. Guess what?
He's not even the best coach on that team. I think Chris.
No, this is offensively. We're talking offensively. We're not talking defensively.
Well, Chris Shula is the best coach on that team. If you want to talk coaching, acknowledge the best coach, not the most inferior coach of of McVay, Shula, Fieldhouse. He's the most inferior.
Are you listen? Fieldhouse right now, he's the one up for the head coaching job. If he's going to get head coaching jobs, he's got about 3 interviews. Guess what? He's got to come out here right now and do this right here. If he doesn't, guess what happens to those head coaching opportunities? Done. Gone. He's the offensive passing game coordinator, which means he does everything with the passing game.
You have to get your own personal coach. That's what these quarterbacks need to do. That's what these tight ends need to do. You know, and well, pretty much everybody on offense, but the quarterbacks and tight ends, you know, the tight ends are supposed to do everything that a wide receiver does, and then do everything that a left tackle does, or a tackle, and they get paid half as much, get that much recognition. It's unbelievable, man.
Fifth best. I would rank Dable. Well, Scouted has Dable at 4, Grant Udzinski at 3, Clint Kubiak at 2, and Chris Shula at 1. I agree. That's probably the list for me.
Yeah, Chris Shula is definitely the first.
Where's Clay Kubiak?
But the thing is,
Do you believe in
it
Clay Kubiak?
Clay Kubiak, yeah, I actually have a little bit more confidence in him than Shieldhouse, as hard as that is to believe, because the 49ers beat
See,
the
I knew
Rams.
it. I knew
The
it.
49ers beat
I
the
love
Rams
you,
with Mac
Chris.
Jones. The 49ers
I love
beat
you,
the
Chris.
Rams. William, the
I
49ers
love
beat
you.
the Rams with Mac Jones. So, yes,
I
I have
know.
more confidence in Clay Kubiak than I do in Shieldhouse.
I don't know.
I love you, Chris.
Waiting to took me out of the moment. I mean, this bro love. I mean, I'm a little touched right now. You know, William, you're loving on Chris. That took me out of the moment. You know, it it's a thing. Do you believe in love?
I got him singing, man. Yes. I
Ah,
love it.
but
Anyway, back to the Kubiaks. I mean,
yeah,
I
it's
want to
like I
see I
like
want to see Bill Musgrave get a chance as offensive coordinator.
Bill Musgrave. I love Bill Musgrave. Billy, as Deion Sanders calls him, former Super
Yep.
Bowl champion with the Niners.
Yep.
Um,
I thought
they,
he was going to be the next Joe Montana.
yeah, he was a guy that he was put in an unfortunate situation. He was always behind a Hall of Fame, and
Yeah.
he never got a chance because of that. But
Yeah.
he is. I have a feeling it's just how many quarterbacks have grown to be very good
Well,
quarterbacks because
he
he
was
was.
one of the first real quarterbacks to actually do what he did, and become a coach, just on his way, one of those backup quarterbacks that knows everything because he's been standing there with a clipboard, trying to get on the field the entire time,
Yeah,
and but
I know.
I mean,
It's like
I want to see him. I want to see him as offensive coordinator somewhere. Just want to,
yeah. So do
just
I. So do I. I think because any quarterback that has been coached by him, not named Dylan Gabriel, is probably it has been good. It's turned out to be good, and that is that is a testament to him. That is a testament to him. It's been 20 years. It is a testament to him about how good he is. That damn near every quarterback he has ever coached, not named Dylan Gabriel, has ended up to be a very good quarterback.
yeah, no, that's bad. It's bad, bro. But I suggest that Dylan Gabriel,
Retire.
convert to slot
Oh,
receiver, um, to continue his career. That he's
I
not an
say
NFL
convert to an
quarterback.
assistant coach.
He's not. I said he's a coach on the field, but yeah, no, I I said he's not an NFL quarterback. So
He is one of those guys Billy Musgrave can look at and say, just throw up his hands like, I can't do shit with this. But Billy Musgrave deserves to be an assistant coordinator, an
yes,
assistant coach,
offensive court or
offensive coordinator. My brain is just,
We got news. We got big
just
news. It's an extension. Jose Ramirez, 7 years, $175 million, which kicks in through the 2032 season.
Hosey?
Jose
Really?
Ramirez, 7 years, $175 million. The Guardians paid him that. The extension will kick in through 2032.
He said he's only going to play until he's like, you know,
His original extension only lasted until 2029, but apparently he signed a new 7-year, $175 million deal that runs through 2032.
because he said he was not going to play that long. He said he might sign a 3-year extension at max. I mean, that 7-year deal, that's huge
Yeah.
because nobody expected it because he actually said he was not going to do it. He said he was going to retire. So that's a huge thing. And the amount, that's more than the Guardians have spent on their entire roster over the last 3 years.
Yeah.
I mean, that I mean, and that may be due to the new ownership that's going to be coming into effect after next year, I believe it is. I think it's after next year that the new ownership gains power.
Yeah, but there's going to be a lockout next year with the Dodgers getting Kyle Tucker. There's probably going to be a lockout in baseball next year.
Which
because the
makes
owners want
it
salary
even-
cap and they want a floor, and the big market teams like the Yankees and Dodgers are like, no, and they're going to end up compromising on a soft cap.
Hey, let's go back to football, man. Fuck soccer.
Well,
All right.
that's not soccer. That's
Baseball. We're talking baseball.
PG-13, man. PG-13. I won't make it an R rating, I promise. Unless you like bring it.
I swear, I will.
Unless you
I
bring
will
up,
go
you
out.
know, like Taylor Swift or something.
Yeah, and if you wanted me to make this R-rated, I could talk about how the MLS is changing schedules because they want to be able to compete with the Premier Leagues in like England and Europe in 2027.
Well,
Soccer's going to be competing with
Wow.
NFL training camps in July of 2027 for ratings, which I think is stupid, but that's what they chose to do.
If you want to make that rated, I can just start talking about Albert Bell. I mean, that's our rated itself. Albert Bell is our rated.
Let's go back to football.
All right.
Let's go back. Albert Bell could have been it since then.
Let's go back to football.
All right.
No more soccer.
Well, we're talking baseball.
No more baseball.
All right.
See, it doesn't really matter.
William, would it make it you feel any better if I say Albert Bell would have shoved somebody on the field?
The only thing I know about baseball was watching the Cleveland Indians in Major League.
Major League, yes.
With Charlie Sheen.
That was a movie. That was a damn good movie. So yeah,
That
it's
was
like I give bonus points. I give you bonus points.
Goon and that movie. My brain just went off. Anyway, Goon and Major League are the two best sports movies.
And I would throw Youngblood into that mix. It's a hockey movie with Rob Lowe.
I haven't seen it, but now I'm gonna watch it.
Keanu Reeves is the goalie. Keanu Reeves is the goalie in the movie.
Oh, nice. I have to watch it now.
Okay.
Remind me. Send me the link. Send me the link, and then I'll know.
Yeah, Keanu. Because I was gonna insult it, but then you put Keanu Reeves in there, and I'm like, okay. It may be a very good movie. You know,
Well,
the replacements.
The Replacements is way up there as well. So
yeah, the Replacements is amazing. It's like the turnover of the car by the offensive line was the inspiration for us to pick up our assistant coach's truck and put it in the middle of the highway.
And I mean, even like 2000, Keanu Reeves was invited to Baltimore Ravens camp. I think they were just trying to put asses in the seats, but besides that.
Yeah, they wanted him to try out to be quarterback, and he was like, I played quarterback in a TV show, and I was a quarterback in junior high.
Johnny Utah, you got to go back to Point Break. Johnny Utah that blew out his knee, and yeah.
Yeah, Keanu
There's
Reeves.
a couple of them, man.
Keanu Reeves.
He always plays quarterback.
Yeah, Patrick Swayze's the captain in Youngblood, so that's the thing.
It's nice.
Patrick Swayze.
Okay.
Nice.
Rest in peace, Patrick Swayze.
Hold on, let me write that down. I'm going to go put it in my notes.
Yeah, I don't know where you can watch it online. I was able to find an online version of it, but it was a hard movie to find. Like, I actually had to order it on demand with Comcast. That's how hard of a movie it is to find. It's not on any of the streaming services.
Hey. Yeah, just make sure to send me that link too, because that's one. It's like that cast in itself is like, if that's a bad movie, that means somebody really screwed up on the.
And it came out before Hoosiers in 1986. It came out before Hoosiers came out in 1986.
So that was around the time of Outsider. which had all the young
Oh yeah.
guys
I
in there
got
that
that
ended up.
movie.
Gibb is in this.
Yeah.
Eric Nestereko's in this. Ed Lauder's the head coach in the movie. Ed Lauder's the head coach in
I'm
the
gonna
movie.
look this up right now after I write it down.
Yeah. Because and now does it have the sad ending of Outsiders? Because if it has an ending like that where it makes me cry, I am not going to watch it.
It does not have a sad ending.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can't have that type of sad ending.
Yeah.
I mean, Tommy Boy can't die in the end.
Not quite a cast. Rob Lowe, Ed Lauder's the coach. Cynthia Gibb is the coach's daughter. Jim Youngs, Patrick Swayze, Fiona Flanagan, Ken James, George J. Finn, Peter Fawcett, Eric Nesterenko, and Keanu Reeves.
We should just call the show like Shenanigans or something, because I mean,
It's,
or Tangents. Just call it Tangents. There we go.
yeah, it's like one of these days we should just do a full show just at random about, best casts in the history of,
Yeah.
movies like that.
Yeah. See,
They
you
got
get
some,
it.
yeah, they got some damn good ones in there. But
Anyway.
But yeah, Youngblood 1986. Google that. You'll find, if you Google it and you look for the online movie, you'll find it somewhere.
I'm gonna go through my Roku first. So
You can try Roku. I don't think it's there.
I've got Apple TV as well. So
Yeah, you can try one of those. But yeah,
as far as the championship games go, it's like I've got Patriots and Rams.
I've got Patriots Rams as well. But it's interesting. Look at the national standings. Wes is the number one spot in the country, locked up. Kerm is tied for third. Tony Mario is the only person who can catch Kerm because both Jason Reed of ESPN and Kerm took Patriots Rams. So Kerm is pretty much locked in the top three, and Tony Mario would have to take the opposite winner as Kerm is in the Super Bowl in order to win the second place tiebreaker over Kerm. I'm currently seventh. I'm one game behind Reagan Holgate and Pete Prisco. Pete Prisco has Broncos Seahawks in the Super Bowl. So I took Patriots Rams, so I can move into fifth place if the Patriots and Rams win. But that is the highest I can go. And it makes me wonder, should I just pick the Rams in the Super Bowl just to stay in fifth place? It's kind of a pussy move. I think the Patriots are the better team. But I risk losing a tiebreaker if I pick them and the Rams win. So
currently unavailable. Let's see what
Yeah,
Apple TV says.
Yeah, I haven't been in the top 15 in like 3 years, so I'm not even sniffing.
You're 29th now. You actually moved up ahead of Dan Graziano, so you're 29th out of 90 people.
I don't like Graziano anyway. So
that's what I was talking about. Like, I try to do all that superstitious kind of stuff when it comes to picking games. I try to pick the ones that
everyone has as a lock. So if they're wrong, you can steal.
None of it works, man. None of it. That's fine.
Well, here's what I do. I pick the games when I'm drunk.
There we go, man. I got
that way
except I don't drink anymore. So.
Well, it's all on instinct. There is no thought to it. There is no pressure to it. You're just sitting there like, I know what these teams do. I'm taking it. I'm not overthinking it. I'm just taking them one, and I'm going. Because I am an eccentric overthinker. Which means,
oh, man.
I'm going to go with
locked together.
Yeah, so I will never make a major decision unless I get rid of that eccentric overthinking. It's like, I have 3 or 4 beers, 5 beers, 6 beers.
That's where I'm
now
shooting pool. I mentioned the mechanics shooting pool, but it's also about 3 or 4 beers deep.
Yeah, it's like,
I'm God, dude. And I'm
well,
God.
I'm so tightly wound that 6 beers just gets me back to normal. And once I get back to normal, I'm like, okay, now I can make these picks without, it's like, it takes 6 beers to do it.
I
You
did
know,
find
without
Youngblood, but it's a Russian website. I did find a full movie of Youngblood, William, but it's on a Russian website. I'm not sure if that's good for your computer. It might not be. I don't know. How much confidence
Oh,
do you have
no.
with Putin with
Hold
your
on.
VPN,
No.
VPNs,
This
VPNs.
thing
ExpressVPN?
is
Yes.
terrible. I'm on air.
Are you?
I'm on.
It's got to be mailed right away. This is the Spectrum application for a lower
Okay.
bill.
All right.
Oh,
We're about ready to wrap up, by the way. So I'm
Yeah.
taking Rams over Seahawks.
Is that AI dude? AI dude that just came over and said a bunch of stuff that I couldn't understand.
That was
I fuck with AI, man, and a week doesn't go by that I don't verbally abuse it. So if there's ever a Terminator type scenario, just know it was something that I did.
cool.
That's pretty much the way I am with customer service representatives. So I totally understand.
No, dude, this thing is terrible.
All right.
Oh,
But
it's
yeah,
on
Rams
Tubi.
Seahawks is a split decision. Is it on?
What's it on?
Is
It's
Youngblood
on Tubi.
good? If it
Okay,
is,
It's
so
on Tubi. I got it playing, man.
good, awesome,
excellent.
excellent. If it's on Tubi, I might check it out myself after the show.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's free, dude.
good.
Now, is there anything else we need to get about outside of the absolute ridiculousness?
Of the conference
Football.
championship games and the Shrine Bowl.
Did we
Well,
talk about the Patriots and the Broncos?
Yep, we talked about that.
Oh,
We didn't spend a lot
it,
on
I
it.
was gearing up to have a Anyway,
well, you
never
geared
mind.
up quite well. Yeah, so you geared up quite well during that discussion. You went into Central Florida, or one of those
Yeah,
states.
no, not Central Florida. They don't like that one.
Nah,
The Youngblood movie I'm referring to came out in 1986, not 1978. The one on Tubi, I think, is 1978. So I'm double checking to make sure you got the right movie. Because there's two Youngbloods. There's a 1978 Youngblood, which is
Oh no,
and then there's a hockey movie.
I'm heartbroken.
Well,
Yep, you got Youngblood is 1978, and the
Yeah, it's
actor.
talking about a South Central Street gang.
Yep, South Central Street, and the lead actor looks like Lamar Jackson with the afro. Yeah,
Movies you might also like. Spun. Oh yeah. What the hell,
I tried to. I should have warned you sooner,
girl?
William. That's on me. But yeah,
when it makes you feel any
I
better,
still love you, Chris.
should,
It's all right, man.
when
Gang related. We gotta watch that.
if it makes you feel any better, William, you ruined recruitment for 2 different schools today.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, you really did some damage and you really made an influence. So that should feel really good.
Maybe AI will listen to me and point him out. Say, hey, check this dude out. I made my first nickel the other night on Facebook.
cool.
I'm
First
proud of
nickel,
myself. I pat myself on my back, dude. I've got like 8 or 9 cents now, some shit like that.
like 1920 shoe shineman.
Yeah.
Shoe
Yeah,
shine boy.
Get it on.
I made my first nickel. I can get 10 Tootsie Rolls.
Garfield. That's what I'm gonna watch.
Yeah,
Tom
it's
and
not even
Jerry.
on Comcast. That should tell you. The only way to get the movie is to either find a pirated version or stream it somewhere. Or buy the DVD for $14. That's the only way to get it.
Walking Tall. I remember the first one, and I know the true story.
Like, it's not on streaming services anywhere, but it is a good movie. I would put I would put that as the best hockey movie I've watched. That and Goon are my two favorites.
Yeah. Goon
When,
is just amazing.
when we're talking about walking tall, you get
Yeah. No,
gotta get
I don't have what do you call it? On my computer. So I'm not gonna go to that website.
Yeah.
I need to get like Kaspersky or something like that. That's what I always used to run.
Life is like great Kaspersky.
But yeah, Rams Seahawks was a split decision. Oren, myself, Joey, Kerman, Tracy took the Rams. Tony Mario, Wes William, and Daniel Keyser took the Seahawks. So split decision on that game. And I originally had the Seahawks, but I switched to the Rams after finding out who was calling the game. But I think it's going to be very close.
It's going to be a very good game. I think it's going to be the Rams passing game against the against the Seahawks defense. I mean, whoever wins that matchup over the middle, whether it's the passing game or the defense, that's going to determine the game.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I don't know yet.
There's something we can cover.
I know when the Chiefs played the Patriots, I went to Texas Roadhouse for good luck for the Patriots. I don't know if I'm going to go to Texas Roadhouse tomorrow because it's snowstorm. It's going to be brutal here in Pittsburgh. The snowstorm is going to be brutal here. If the snow is bad, I'm probably going to stay in.
Okay,
so just take a walk like a man and get to Texas Roadhouse.
If you go to that game, are you still gonna let Joey and I host an episode? I mean, you can hang out with us.
If I go to Penn State next Saturday with my friend, I'm going to let you and Joey host the episode. I'll be in the background, start it.
What I'm talking about is if you don't go, are you still gonna
You guys can host an episode at some point. It won't be next Saturday, but maybe it'll be the Saturday after the Senior Bowl.
Yeah, and you can just hang out and be the guy. The guy on the couch.
Yeah, we can do that because the two games I'm looking at for Penn State hockey are the game next Saturday against Michigan State and the game against Ohio State in Penn State's hockey arena after the Super Bowl. Those are the two games we're looking at. But we'd like to go to Beaver Stadium to watch Gavin McKenna, preferably if we can. But the weather might be an MFer this week, so we might not be able to go to that game. We'll see. But it's not sold out yet.
Okay.
And we are looking at the weather.
That would mean we would have to get together and, create a run strip. I mean, just saying.
Yeah.
We and for those of you who don't know what a run strip is, I mean, if you've ever watched a television show, the directors create a run script. That's what it is. Especially a live action TV show. So there you go. There's your television and production and directorial education for the day.
Okay. All right.
Sounds good. So we'll be back William and Joey will be back next Saturday. I don't know what my plans are yet, but if I'm not at Penn State, I'll be here. Maybe I'll participate in the first hour while I'm in the car. And whenever I get a text from William to end the show, that's when I'll end the show. If I mute my phone, I go into the stadium for So all right. Cool. We got everything we cover. What need to cover today? Can we sign off, Joey, or do we need?
Hey, I got something.
What's up?
Fuck the Chiefs. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm thinking if the Chiefs get back to the playoffs, they'll probably lose, and we'll probably see Patriots Bills, because I was thinking Patriots Chiefs as my initial AFC pick for next year. But if the Patriots won it all, the NFL is going to want to promote Drake May versus Josh Allen in the conference game.
What about Joe Burrow?
I think Burrow probably wins the division. The Bengals are 30th in strength of schedule. The Browns are 32nd. So it's possible if the Browns make the playoffs, they knock off Burrow, and then they lose to Josh Allen in the divisional round. That's a possibility. I don't want to get Joey's hopes up, but that is a possibility because the Browns have that
gets my hopes up.
They have the weakest strength of schedule of every team in the league next season. The Browns do.
You got
Seriously,
him
guys,
singing, man.
seriously though, it really depends on the head coaching hire. And I am the more because I watched an interview with Greg Patton. And I want to tell a story real quick before we go off here. And it turns out he won his youth league basketball tournament. He was a hooper, and his teammate was Grant Udinsky's father. So fast forward several years because I watched this interview like 2 days ago. Patton, who is now retired, he retired after this year. Um, he was with the Vikings, and he and the Vikings were looking for a new assistant or for something or other. He said he threw out Grady Diskey's name, and they said, "Okay, we'll give him 5 minutes." And that 5 minutes turned into longer, and obviously they ended up hiring Grant Udinsky.
Yep.
They and so Mike Patton, who I believe is the greatest coach in the reborn Browns era, I thought he just got screwed over because of a drug-induced whatever.
Yeah, the Browns have such an easy strength of schedule next year. They get the
They-
AFC North, they get the AFC South, they get the Texans and Jags at home, they get the Texans and Colts at home, they get the Jags and Titans on the road, they get the NFC South division, Falcons and Panthers at home, Buccaneers and Saints on the road, they get the Giants and Jets as their out of conference and in conference opponents, and then they get the Raiders. They get the Raiders of Cleveland. So their strength of schedule is they have a strength of schedule where they can win 7 to 9 games next year. I don't know if
my point, Chris, is that Udinsky is a highly educated CEO type. He did not call plays because of the head coach. He did not call plays because that's not the coach he is. He is somebody who oversees everything. And I think that is incredibly important for a young head coach to understand, hey, this is my overarching. I hire these guys to do a job. Let them do it. I've got a job that I need to overlook. And I think that's Udensky's big appeal, that he understands the game to such a mature level that he understands, I see the game this way. I hire these people, and this is what I expect out of them, and I am just here to oversee it and manage the game and manage the different components rather than to lord over them. And I think that is his greatest strength.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to limit him to that. I mean,
well, no,
I
he
have seen him done or do and just everything. It's like this guy, might be able to play football, and I don't want to limit him just to.
Yep.
No, it's like that just gives a point into his personality. That just gives his background, his personality, and so now as a coach, we'll see he's shown an understanding of defenses.
Yep, having an easy strength of schedule does help. I mean, heading into May, the Niners had the easiest strength of schedule, followed by the Saints, followed by the Patriots. And this year for 2026, it's Browns 32nd, Saints 31st, Bengals 30th. So I do think the Bengals get the 2 seed in the AFC behind Buffalo next year. And then maybe the Browns get the wild. No, I've got the Chargers at 2 behind the Bills. I've got the Chargers at 2 behind the Bills, and then I've got the Bengals at 3. But I think it's possible the Browns get in as 6. But we'll figure that out another day. It's 1 p.m. Yeah. We are going to sign off. What do you guys? Any closing thoughts before we actually sign off this time?
No, I watch Under the Bleachers. Chris and I have a pretty good show with some guests. We're gonna have this dude I know, Randy, coming up real soon, and Watch out
Yeah,
for
we'll have
him.
the Senior Bowl edition of Under the Bleachers next week. Garrett Nussmeyer, Diego Pavia. Already got the thumbnail. We just haven't scheduled the show yet. But we'll figure out the day and time. We'll schedule that later this week after the conference title games are played.
Exactly. So yeah.
Yeah. So you guys.
Thanks everyone for listening. Putting up with our BS, and we got Joey singing, so it was a very productive day. And so guys.
Yeah.
Anyway. Peace.
Peace.